Today, I'm answering your YouTube questions. We are grading channels and more, and we're starting right now. What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another Saturday live stream. If this is your first time here and you're watching this on the replay and you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube-related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. With that out of the way, as always, I'm going to jump into the chat here and I'm going to see what is going on with you guys. Now, as you can tell, I am in a little bit different of an environment here, and let me see here. I got to turn the volume down up here. There we go. Yeah, I got this projecting on a TV here in front of me as well. So yeah, so as you can tell, I'm in a little bit of a different environment here. I'm actually at my mom's house in Arizona. So you can definitely tell there's a little bit difference, actually a lot different, a lot of difference in the actual setup itself. So a couple of different things. Yeah, Mom is definitely going to be in here. Alex from Everything Tesla. I'm actually going to jump into the chat right here and just give some shout outs, actually. What is going on, Alex from Everything Tesla? Nice to see you in here, buddy. Ken of Jimmy Chonga TV. What is going on? Yuli, I saw you in here earlier. Beanie Draws, Costume Cinematographo, or Costume CO. What is going on? Nice to see you in here as well. David X Beast. What is going on? Paulo Vaz in the house. What is going on? Nice to see you too, my friend. SGTX Robert. What is going on? Hey to you as well. The audio's on the left channel. Thanks for the heads up. I know exactly where to go to fix that. Give me 1 second here. And you know what? That used to actually fix it. Give me 1 second. Down mix to mono. All right, so it seems we might be back. Maybe, or at least it's trying to come back. There we go. It's coming up. It's syncing. Maybe. Oh, yeah, we're getting real blocky here. Yeah, I was afraid of this. Yeah, I think the internet might be going here. Let's see here. So, let me know on your end if this is coming up as choppy as it's coming up on my end. Is it coming up on your end a little bit choppy? Hey, thanks Mango Maggie for the congratulations on the 80K. I appreciate it. So if this keeps being as laggy as it is, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kill this stream and then I'm going to restart it as we work through the tech issues here to see if we can get this thing smoothed out a little bit. I'm going to pull this up on my phone. Okay, yeah, it's just okay. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're good. Okay, it looks laggy on my end, but it seems like we're coming through okay. All right, now with that out of the way, I'm going back into the chat here, and I'm actually going to skip through the preliminaries here, and we're just going to pull on Mom Nimmin, and I'm going to introduce you guys to my mom. So, Mom, come on over here. She's actually nervous about coming onto the stream. She's like, oh, what if there's a bunch of people watching? And right now, Mom, there you are. So you can see yourself up on the screen. Right now, Mom, there are about 100. There are about 100 people in here right now. So everybody say hi to Mom Nimmin. She's actually for everybody that's noticed that our last name is a palindrome, which basically means that you can say it frontwards and backwards, spell it frontwards and backwards, and it's all the same. She's actually a double palindrome because Mom is also a palindrome. So we've got a double palindrome with Mom Nimmin here. So that's how we get the offspring here. We come from double palindromes. That's just how it works around the Nimmin house. So everybody say hi to my mom. Mom, you want to say hi? Just lean in here a little bit.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, that's fantastic. So she's gonna hang out here just for a minute, and then she's just gonna go, do mom stuff. And then later, when we start getting into the channel grading portion, I might have her back to actually give some feedback on some of your channels as well. Once we get into the channel grading portion of the stream today. So in addition, from my opinion, in addition to the opinions that are going to come from the community, we're also going to have the opinion of Mom Nimmin as well, which is also fantastic. Yeah, doing great, Alex. Thank you. So now that I am in America, hopefully this gives some additional people a chance to come into the live streams. You can go do whatever you would like, Mom. so basically, yeah, so hopefully this is going to give some people a chance to hang out in the live stream that has never gotten to hang out in the live stream, because typically, you know, I'm on at 9 a.m. Eastern time, which here, or, you know, on the other side of the country, that takes it down to about 6 o'clock in the morning. I know a lot of people are still in bed and things like that. So, so this is definitely, hopefully gonna, you know, give some people a chance to be in the streams that don't normally get to be a part of the streams. Brian G. Johnson in the house. What is going on, my friend? Nice to see you. I'm so close to you right now. We're practically neighbors. America. Myron Fernandez. What is going on? Hammer Channel. What is going on? Nice to see you in here as well. Stacy Squad, you finally made it to a live stream. That's what I was excited about. I was excited thinking, hey, you know, a lot more people are going to get a chance to come in here, because I get a lot on the replays where people are saying, you know, oh, you know, I missed it. I'm asleep at that time and things like that. So this is awesome to, you know, to be able to open this up essentially for this week and for next week for some additional people to be able to come into the live stream. Kill Creations, I am in Arizona, and I actually sent out in my email this morning, I sent out a call to where it basically says, if you're in Arizona, let me know. Because if you happen to be around the area that I am in, at the moment I am in the Prescott area. So if you happen to be around this area, then, you know, we can meet up for coffee, hang out, and talk YouTube. Papa G Low Carb, what is going on? Thanks, I appreciate it for the super chat, the $10 super chat. Papa G Low Carb says, hey, Nick, I just wanted to say thanks for the thumbnail advice last week. I've seen a noticeable increase in views and subs. You do good work. Now, that's a testament right there. That's a testimonial basically saying that it's extremely important to make sure that you're dialing in your thumbnails, that you're dialing in, you know, that visual authority, so that you're creating that advantage for yourself when people are checking out your YouTube channels. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and jump into some questions. Let's see if you have some questions. And for the actual channel evaluation part, or the channel grading part, we're not there yet. We're going to get into that here in about 30 minutes or so, maybe 45 minutes, because I'm not going to be on as long today as I normally am. So we're going to be getting into that portion here in just a little bit. So anybody that's interested in that, hold off here for a little bit. So the OKS Taylor, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. The OKS Taylor says, Nick, I'm doing my first live stream tomorrow thanks to your OBS tutorial. That is fantastic to hear. Let me tell you something. Going live, it is a whole other beast. I mean, it's a blast, but it is an entirely other beast. It's awesome. You're most likely going to get addicted to it, because most people do, because of that whole interaction part of it. So Alex from Everything Tesla says, what do you think about the new YouTube changes? Personally, if you are talking about the changes to the Creator Studio app, I dig it. If you're talking about the algorithm change, I'm not digging it personally. If you're talking about the changes to the Creator Studio app, I'm definitely digging that. But as far as additional things, if there's something specific, definitely let me know, and I'll expand on that as well. Sweet love text messages coming from Nigeria. What is going on? All the way from Nigeria. Hey, welcome to the first live stream. It is awesome to have you in here. Mango Maggie says, you helped me so much. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and it's only been 2 months. Thank you, Nick. That is awesome to hear. Thank you for actually taking action to make the channel, to do all the stuff, and actually take some of the advice that you get and put that advice into action, because that's one of the things that a lot of people don't do. You know, they'll be in the live streams, they'll watch the videos and things like that, but they won't actually take action on it. So congratulations to you for that, and coming up on 1,000. So I'm going to scroll down here and see where we are at. Hello from Croatia, says Lion Claws. That is awesome. Film with Orion. Hey, what is going on? Let's see here. Thanks for the link icon tip last week. I'm a silly girl, says Prairie Dodgers. For the link icon tip, I'm guessing that you were talking about the Twitter icon tip, to where if you take out the S, for anybody that doesn't know this already, if you weren't around for the last stream, basically, if you're having trouble with your Twitter icon showing in your channel art, or you know, at the up in your channel art, or in your header page on your YouTube channel, if you take out the S, where it says https:// if you take out the S, then the Twitter link will show up. Backwoods Raised, thank you for the $3. Nick, at $2.50 because of you. Any more helpful tips? Absolutely. If you have questions, I've got some answers for you. So as far as additional tips are concerned, if you're at $2.50 right now, try to be as consistent as you possibly can. That's super important right now. Try to upload as much as you can, as much as is sustainable without overtaking your life, because of course, life is definitely more important than, what it is that you're doing on YouTube. But make sure that you are consistent. Extremely important. Make sure that you try to look at your content as objectively as you possibly can. Look at your channels as objectively as you possibly can, and try to just fine tune everything as you go. If you're at 250 subscribers right now, you're new. So just accept that, be patient that, there's going to be, a little bit of time before you catch some, most likely there's going to be a little bit of time before you catch some real momentum. And you just need to be patient and try to fine tune everything and make all those little tweaks in order to, get it all together. Aiden Dela Cruz says, Nick, how do you get more than 100 views on one video? To get more than 100 views on one video, especially if you're a new channel, you have to learn how to rank your videos in search. I beat this horse to death, so to speak, but it's really important that you learn how to rank your videos in search, because that is one way that you can get your initial momentum going in your channel. It's extremely important. And if you're not doing it, you're creating a disadvantage for yourself. So make sure that you spend the time learning how to optimize your videos for search, because if you don't, then it's going to be a lot more difficult to get over those 100 views. Now, in addition to that, depending on the type of content that you're making, if your content is content that is shareable in places like Reddit, in places like Facebook groups and things like that, or there's communities around the type of content you make, you can clock up 100 views really fast if you have outlets like that to share your content. Weather Filter and Vlogger says, I don't like the layout. The new YouTube layout? I absolutely love the new YouTube layout. Justin Brown is in the house. What is going on, Justin? Nice to see you in here, my friend. Hanging out on the couch with Nick. Love it. Yeah, man, I'm in the States now, so I'm definitely out of my normal live streaming environment. And to be honest with you, it's a little bit awkward because I'm seeing myself on the screen. It's not what I normally see. The setup here, like, I'm actually going to take a picture of this setup and show you what a disaster this is, so that you can, oh, wow. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate the heads up on that. But yeah, I'm going to take a picture of this, and after the show, I'm going to put this on my Instagram. So there we go. So after the show, I'm going to put this on my Instagram. So make sure you head over to Instagram.com/Nick Nimmin so that you can see that after the show. Doug Hewson, what is going on? Nice to see you. Yeah, so Justin Brown, guys, just so you know, if you are not familiar with Justin makes videos that are also very helpful to YouTubers. He does a lot of gear-related things, to where on my channel, I do like growth tips and, things like that, and teach you how to basically do YouTube. He does the other side of it, which is basically all the stuff that you need. Which camera do you get? What microphone do you get? How do you do stuff cheaply? How do you do stuff the most expensive way? Like all of the different options for you. He breaks it all down. Very valuable content. Make sure that you click on his username and you go over and check him out if you haven't yet. We also did a collaboration that you'll see on my channel where we went over all of the smartphone accessories that you need to really make videos on your phone and make everything look awesome. So Ashwang, the tortoise, says, Nick, I'm about to head to dinner for 5 minutes. Can you please grade my channel quickly? Thanks. We're actually not to the channel grading portion yet. But when we do get to that part of the show, I have your channel open right now. I just opened it up in a tab here, and you can catch it on the replay. Because I'm not on that portion yet. We're only 14 minutes in. I won't be on that side of it. For everybody waiting for the channel grading part, I won't be on that side of the show until probably about another 30 minutes, maybe, give or take. Let's see here. We got a Hey Hershey. Hey, Nick, I have a problem. My OBS lags a lot while live streaming. Can you help? Yeah, like right now, I'm kind of in a similar boat. At this moment, the internet that I'm on here right now at my mom's house is about half the speed, less than half the speed that I get at home. And I just recently upgraded my package at home, but it's less than the speed that I get at home. Right now, I'm on like a 3 megabyte upload, which is, it looks like it's doing okay, but it's not fantastic. So what I have to do in order to compensate for the lower internet speed is I cannot stream through a 1920 by 1080 frame size. I have to break it down to a 1280 by 720 in order to get it through. So you might want to try that. You might want to try playing with your bit rate. Also, make sure go to Google and search for YouTube live stream settings, and you'll actually learn from the horse's mouth, from YouTube, from their help section. They actually break down for you what bit rate your video should be at and things like that if you are streaming at different frame sizes. Okay, Professor Nez in the house. What is going on? Nice to see you in here, my man. Let's see here. Everything Tesla says, Alpha Logic Nick reviews channels in about 3 minutes to get a first impression type of review. Sending a super chat request usually helps. Absolutely. That basically just puts you to the front of the line. If you are wanting a free channel grading, that happens as well. So you want to make sure that you're tweeting me at Nick Nimmin with your channel link, so that when it comes time for the free channel gradings, then I can actually go into Twitter, and then I can open up your channels. I can open up your channels from there. UND says, hey, Nick, my name is Nick too. Awesome name. Kiss your mom when you see her. Harshy says he loves this. That is awesome to hear. Let's see here. Okay. SGTX Robert says, I want to make a cool banner on my thumbnails, but I don't know what style or where to put it. Any ideas? By the way, if you can review my channel at some point, that would be cool. Okay, if you're wanting to make a banner for your channel, but you don't have any ideas, you don't know, what it is that you want to make, you can use a website like canva.com, for example. With canva.com, you can go there and they have built-in templates. So you can basically use what they have initially, change any text so that you can put on your channel name or anything like that. And then from there, you can add pictures and all of that stuff, but you do it all within their templates, which usually comes out with a pretty decent end result. You're not creating something fully custom, but it's pretty close. So definitely check out canva.com if that's something that you are trying to do. Myron Fernandez, this is a Rode Procaster. I just picked this one up since I've been here in the States. It actually arrived today. I was thinking of going live this morning, but then I realized last night that I ordered all of this stuff, and unfortunately it wasn't going to be ready. So that's actually why I'm live now instead of this morning. And in addition to that, I also wanted to have, since I'm here in this time zone now, I wanted to give some people that don't normally get a chance to come into my streams, I wanted to give you guys a chance to be a part of the stream as well. Let's see here. UND, love your vids. Thank you. Can you help me grow my channel? It's only at 72. Mindboy Sims, to help you grow your channel, if you just go to my channel page, I have tons of videos there that can help you do that. Jay Echo, I believe that I do have an SEO playlist. If not, you want to go and check out Brian G. Johnson. I have videos with him on my channel. You can find him as a link in the sidebar on my channel as well. He has a ton of SEO content. So if you can't find an SEO playlist on my page, definitely go over to Brian's and check his out. Okay, let's see here. My Twitter is at the @ symbol and then Nick Nimmin. To answer your question there, Gene23. Good to see you as well, Car Galaxy Studios. Let's see here. Professor Nez says this is a great time slot. Yeah, unfortunately though, it's opposite. Well, not opposite, but it doesn't work out as well when I'm on the other side of the planet, because right now it's pretty early, where I normally broadcast from. Let's see here. Professor Nez, I agree. This is a great time slot. I was confused about the chat until I realized you just put the chat the same place in the video. Yeah, so the chat, I have it in the same place in the video, but I put this little black thing over there because of the white wall that's going on over here. I said that I'm pretty sure I'm pointing the right way. I don't know. Nope, this way. Okay, so basically I put this black thing up here because the white text was getting lost over there on the wall. So I put this up here really quick in order to cover that. Let's see here. Spoons Gaming sent $5. He says, hey, Nick, when we start channel grading, could you do mine? Absolutely. I will open you up. Excuse me. I will open you up right now. Mute tab. Okay. Let me scroll down here. Okay. Andrew Salas, my apologies if I'm not saying that right. Do you recommend 720p or 60 frames per second, or 1080p 30 frames per second camera wise? Me personally, I use 1080p 30 frames per second. It all depends on what it is that you're trying to do. If you're making videos, then definitely go 1080p. If it means that you have to, if you have to get a slower frame rate in order to accommodate that, go with 1080p. If you're talking about live streaming, in that case, you can go with 720, because in a lot of cases, depending on your internet connection, the 720 is going to end up streaming through better anyway. But when you stream at 60 frames per second, then that might end up slowing you down a little bit too. So what I would do is I recommend that you actually play with the settings. You can set in your live streaming settings, just in case you don't know this, you can actually set your live stream to private, so you're the only person that can see it, and then you can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your computer, and you can watch it on a TV or anything else, so that you can make sure that everything is streaming through properly and that you're getting, that you're getting the right stuff. Jet Maria, wow, thank you. $40. Hey, Nick, I hope you had a good day. Created a banner later. Could you check it out when it comes time to do that? Thank you for all that you do and continue to do for everyone. You inspire me to keep on grinding. That is fantastic to hear. The part about inspiring you to keep on grinding. I appreciate feedback like that, and that is the juice for me. So I appreciate you you saying that. That means a lot. Coding Commanders, will you grade my channel, please? Yeah, when we get to that portion, absolutely. I just opened you up here. So I will definitely do yours as well when we get to that side. Now, right now we've been going, because I like to let this go for a little bit so that we can, give people a chance to get in here, because the notifications are going out and stuff like that. Apparently right now this does seem to be a good time slot, because we've got 166 people in here right now, which is pretty cool. So we are only 22 minutes into the stream. So give me about another 15 minutes, because I'm not going to be streaming as long today as I normally do. So give me about another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, depending on how it goes, any questions that come in and things like that. If the questions stop coming in for questions that people have about YouTube, then I'll go ahead and start the channel grading stuff. But if questions keep coming in, then I'll keep going here on those for about 30 minutes, just to make sure that I can try to help as many people as possible. Professor Nez says, hey, Nick and Justin, if you're still here, what are your thoughts on Amazon Video? When I think of video, Professor Nez, I think of just video. So I think that, if doing it on Amazon is awesome, if you can distribute your content there, like with the type of content you make specifically, Professor Nez, with your specific type of content, doing, Amazon, doing VidMe, I would be uploading your stuff to Vimeo, to Dailymotion, to Facebook, to YouTube. You know what I mean? Just distribute it everywhere with the type of content that you make. Absolutely. Jet Maria says, here's another one, just because I love supporting you. Another $10. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that as well. Very kind. Thank you. Let's see here. Coding Commandment says, I'm really new at YouTube vid. I started like 2 months ago. Welcome to the community, Coding Commanders. With YouTube, if you're very new to the YouTube community, let me tell you something. There is a massive amount of opportunity here, not just on YouTube, but in video in general. Creator Fundamentals, Dan in the house. What is going on, man? Looking forward to meeting you at Vid Summit here coming up in a couple of weeks. Almost 2 weeks. But yeah, with YouTube though, what I was going to say is, in video, just in general, the amount of opportunity that you can create for yourself these days with video, it is absolutely incredible. Like in your case, if you're doing coding, I haven't looked at your channel yet, so I'm not 100% sure, but if that's what you're doing, but if you're doing coding and you're teaching people how to code, down the road, as your channel grows, you're probably going to be blown away at all the opportunities that are going to come your way, because you're doing coding and you're sharing that information with other people. It's staggering. Depending on the type of content you make, it's staggering the type of opportunities that can come from helping other people out. Welcome to Tiffany's. Would you grade my channel as well? I will get you in the queue here also. So my mom, just for you, we're up to 170 people now in the chat. So if you're just coming into the chat right now, I'm at my mom's house in Arizona. That's why everything looks different. That's why everything looks different right now than it normally does. Web HD, I got you. Webhead, I've got you opened up there as well. But yeah, with the setting here in the background, basically, I'm at my mom's. She's actually sitting right over here eating an ice cream sandwich right now while watching the chat and watching me on the television here back behind. So that's what's going on. If you're coming in the stream, you're like, hey, wait a minute. This doesn't look like Nick's normal stuff. What's going on here? I don't get it. I don't understand. This is crazy. It's uncomfortable. That's what's going on. So she was on here earlier, so you'll be able to catch that on the replay. I'm also going to try to bring her in here as long as she's willing when I pull up channels. She's probably going to be nice and say everybody's stuff looks good, I'm guessing, but I'm gonna hopefully get her to be critical of some of the stuff so that you can get more value out of it. Constructive criticism, of course. Dan from Creator Fundamental says, hi, Nick's mom. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to scroll through here. So, again, Heidi Costume CO also says, hi, Mom. Here, Mom, you'll stick your head in here again real quick for the people that have just come in the chat. Come here. It's okay. You can hold your ice cream. It's okay. It's the internet. So, we've got 170 people in here now. So this is basically the chat that's going on right here. This is where people are saying hi and all that stuff. There's a little bit of a delay, usually like a 10 to 14 second delay, sometimes a little bit more. I'm not sure on your connection, between like what we're seeing versus what is actually happening. You know, like there's a little bit of a delay. So yeah, so everybody say hi to my mom. Yeah, this is Mom Nimmin here.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, she's brutal with the channel grading. My channel is awesome because she looks at my stuff and she's like, hey, Nick, man, you need to change this up. Your header sucks. And I'm like, really, Mom? And then she's like, yeah. She's like, hey, when you say that in your videos, it sucks. You need to change it up. And I'm like, come on. And she's always sending me these emails and she's saying like, hey, I watched your latest video. You really need to tighten up your edit on that part where you said like this and this. That transition was just horrible. You really need to tighten that up. So, so yeah, that's the kind of stuff she does. HXEL, what is going on? Nice to see you in here. Social Brook, what is going on? Nice to see you as well. Yeah, so the joke that I made when we first started the stream when my mom was on here earlier is because people know that our last name is a palindrome, right? Which basically means that you can read it frontwards, backwards, say it frontwards, backwards, and it's all the same. She's a double palindrome because Mom is also a palindrome. So she gets, Mom and she gets Nimmin. So she's a double, which is pretty funny. Alex, Everything Tesla, I will open you up as well and have her actually check out your channel as well when we get to that part.
Papa Jim Nimmin said to tell everybody hello too.
Yeah, and Papa Jim says hey too. That's her husband as well. He's actually hanging out outside. Let's see here. Hey Nick, what content should I make and can you grade my channel? Make content that yeah, you can head out if you want. Make content that you enjoy making, because here's the thing. If you plan to do YouTube or make videos of any sort, create content, create, like a brand of any kind, it takes time, it takes work, it takes effort, and it takes patience, and it takes commitment long term. So it's really important that you make content that you enjoy making, because if you don't enjoy making it, you're probably going to burn out. So it's really important that you make content that you at least somewhat enjoy and that you enjoy making. It's also important that you have some type of long-term goal so that you have something to actually shoot for. Because if you don't have a goal, you don't have that direction that you're trying to shoot for, then you don't know where you're going. So you don't have any gauge of, hey, am I doing good? Am I doing bad? How are things? Am I making improvements? Am I not? All of that stuff. So thanks, Jen. Hey, look, it's the Piano Girl. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it. I have to show you her videos later, by the way. Jen here, the hey, look, it's the Piano Girl. Her videos, she is amazing at playing the piano. So she can learn a song in 10 minutes and play it. Absolutely amazing. Wow. Yes, yeah. So remind me for that afterwards. Yeah, and anybody in here, by the way, if you haven't checked out the Piano Girl's channel, make sure you go and check her out right now and subscribe. And just for the sake of like putting in a playlist and like listening to her music in the background, absolutely awesome. Okay, Costume CO. Now we're back on the questions. Good parts here. Costume CO says, how do you add bullets / emojis to your description? To add the emojis to your description, personally, I use Emojipedia.com. And I go to emojipedia.com, and then I'll search in whatever type of emoji that I'm looking for, and then whatever it pops up, I'll just copy it right out of there, and then I'll just paste it into the description. It's really handy to get all of those together, and the typical things that you or the typical emojis that you would use, that you get all those together and you put them in your upload defaults. So that way you don't have to actually go and look for them every single time you need to use one of those emojis. It'll save you a ton of time. But yeah, emojipedia.com is the name of that. Let's see here. Josh Tech Gamer, I've got you in the queue. Let's see here. Whoa, I just had a question here. Luxury Card Store says, Nick, I love your t-shirt. Do you do Amazon merch as well as YouTube? I do not do Amazon merch, at least not at this time. This shirt, I actually got this in Thailand. That's where I normally live. I got this in Thailand. This is like a $5 shirt, but I've got a whole stack of them in different colors. I absolutely love it. It feels fantastic, and they last forever, which is also very cool. Tokyo Drew, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Costume CO says, got it, checking it out. Spider Pivot Animation says, Nick, you're helpful and nice. This is also the first stream I've ever been to, including you. You are awesome. Thank you, Spider Pivot Animations. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Nick, VIP, I've been following you for a while. Great job representing the Buckeye country. Dragon's Graveyard, I appreciate that as well. Thank you. HXEL, no worries. So basically, for anybody that's coming into the chat right now, there's a portion of the show that we do. Basically, I prioritize the super chat because I have to, because it makes sense, because people are putting skin in the game, right? So they're putting skin in the game, so of course they get bumped to the front of the list. After we get through the super chats, then I have a section of the show where we actually go to Twitter, and I start pulling channels from Twitter. So if you don't have money, as long as you have a Twitter account, then you might get your channel selected there. So just make sure that you go to Twitter, you do @NickNimmin, and then you put a link to your channel. If you don't put a link to your channel, you're definitely not going to make it. But you have to make sure that you put a link to your channel. Also, look in the description of this video right now, because in the description of this video, at the very bottom, there's a small list of rules, and this applies to everybody. There's a small list of rules that if you don't follow those rules, it's just basic setup stuff. Like, you have to have your channel, at least, the basics of your channel set up. You have to be uploading consistently and things like that. So make sure that you check those out as well. Let's see here. Is that a football term, skin in the game? You know what? I don't know if that's a football term. I don't know what that is, actually. I don't know where it came from. It just kind of came out of my brain when I was looking for something to say. So I'm really not sure there. I'll Be Drone says, thanks for turning me on to TubeBuddy. I love it. Hey, TubeBuddy is absolutely awesome. Anybody in here, everybody loves it. Everybody that uses TubeBuddy absolutely loves it. If you are not familiar with TubeBuddy, I've got a link to it down in the description below, so make sure that you go and you check that out. If you are not using it at all, it can really help you with your SEO research, A/B testing your thumbnails, and all types of other really useful stuff to help you with your YouTube channel, so make sure that you go and check that out. The Monster Life says, done, done, done. Okay. Please, 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 can you grade my channel, Millie Plays? Let's see here. Any tips for when I start my YouTube channel? Absolutely. Rusty012, that is a fantastic question, and I'm really glad that you asked, because this is something that a lot of people overlook, the actual startup process. So I'm going to get a little intimate here. Basically, with the channel, a lot of you may or may not know that I'm starting another channel with my brother. It's called Creator Insights. I've got a link to that in the description as well. Make sure that you head over and you get subscribed to that, because it's going to be awesome. But people are saying, hey, you started talking about this like 2 months ago and you haven't launched the channel yet. When's the channel coming? Why haven't you launched it yet? Well, the reason for that is because, yes, it's extremely important to get started. But in addition to that, it's also good to have a game plan together. It's also good to get a little bit of content created. And that's what we're going through right now, is we're going through the creation process of getting some content ready so that we don't have to be running around like crazy, making sure that we make updates twice a week, plus the live stream that's going to be going on. So if you are just starting a channel, right out of the gate, get your branding together. Right out of the gate, make your content as good as you possibly can with the knowledge that you have right now. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be good enough, right? Because basically what's going to happen is, once you start uploading content to YouTube, as your channel grows on YouTube, as you start getting views, as you start, getting all of those, little small wins on your channel, over time, as you're learning how it all works, you're going to get better. And as your channel grows, that part usually takes a little bit of time as well. So it all kind of goes hand in hand as far as just being patient, keep learning, keep trying to improve as you go. But in a nutshell, get your branding together, make your videos and stuff as good as you possibly can right now. And in addition to that, get a really strong content plan together. What type of content I'm going to put out? What are the videos that I'm going to put out? What is it that I actually want from those videos? So as an example, you would say video A. I want to make this particular list of videos in this column for the sake of generating subscribers. These are videos that, you know, will probably have a really good placement in search. These are videos that, you know, serve some type of purpose that people will be, you know, thankful for in some way. So it will most likely generate more subscribers. Have another list, like these videos are the ones that if you're going to do any type of affiliate marketing or anything like that, these videos here are going to be my money videos, or the videos that I'm going to send affiliate traffic from, or the videos that I'm going to try to get email signups from, or something like that. And those are the focus of those. And then you have another column to where it's like, hey, this list of videos, I'm going to be making these for the sake of connecting with the community. These are going to be my videos that are going to help me get closer with the people that are watching my content, and so on. But basically, you figure out the goal of your channel, and then once you have the goal of your channel, you basically break down. You just put a few columns together on what type of content you need to create in order to reach all of these little mini goals with your channel. That part is really, really important. But most important, though, is actually getting started, because a lot of people will get stuck in the planning process and they won't actually be executing on anything. So it's really important that you start actually making the content while you're getting all of this stuff together. So say you get that first column together, go ahead and start making the content for it while you're figuring out what you're going to do for the other columns. Okay, let's see here. I am going to scroll down here just a little bit and get back into the chat. Alarm System Store, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. Going to go down here a little bit more. We've got some hey, what's ups going on. Hello, Nick. What app should I use to record my gameplay and internal sounds? If you're talking about apps on your phone, DU Screen Recorder will do it. If you're talking about from your computer, you can use things like, here I actually have this. I just picked up some of these. These are, this actually won't record it, but the same company, Elgato, they make a recorder that you actually can hook up to your computer to where as you're playing the games, it will actually record it for you. This is just so I can hook up a DSLR. So this will basically allow me to plug a DSLR into this and get it into my computer. This isn't recording in any way. But they also, the same company right here, Elgato, is what you want to look for. And they have something, it's a little bit bigger than the little device right here. So you want to make sure that you're looking for that one. It's called like HD something, and it's not the version that you actually plug into your computer, but it's something that you can use through a HDMI port instead, and it'll record all of that stuff for you. Mad Planet Guy, what is going on? Nice to see you in here. Andrew Salah says, is putting your name, your full name, as your channel a good thing, or is there any safety issues? Yeah, here's the thing with using your full name. If you are trying to brand yourself and you're trying to create a personal brand on YouTube or on the internet in general, then go with your personal name if that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to brand, let's say, a company or a service or something like that, then go with that. But if you're trying to do a personal brand with your name, then there's kind of no way around not doing that. However, you mentioned the second part of your question was, are there any safety issues with that? And there can be. Because, you know, people do get your name, they can look for you on the internet, they can try to find out personal information and, you know, all of that good stuff. So you do run that risk. But at the end of the day, you know, they could do that anyway. Anybody in your life, anybody that knows your name could also do the same exact thing. You just kind of amplify it a little bit because you're on the internet, because you start gaining influence and that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. Josh Tech Gramer says that they did buy a green screen and that will be coming soon. That's cool. Green screens are cool. You got to be careful with green screens though, because in some cases they do look tacky. So make sure that you take the time to, you know, to make it all look right. You're a gamer, you know, you're a tech gamer. So I'm assuming just by your name that you'll probably be okay. But I know in a lot of cases, you know, people that aren't as, you know, tech savvy or whatever, you know, their green screens will end up looking a little weird. So I'm sure though, in your case, you know, with a name like Tech Gamer, you'll probably be okay. Okay, B-Man Entertainment says, hey, Nick, my friend does not have a phone number to verify his channel, but he wants to use custom thumbnails. How does he do that? If he does not have a phone number and he wants to verify his channel so that he can use custom thumbnails, what he can do is he can actually set up a Skype in account. And basically what it is they set up a Skype account, and then they actually, he's going to have to pay for it. But I think he can do a $10 fee for it. And then he can use that as the call-in number for YouTube when he goes through the verification process, so that he can do it that way. So then he can start using the custom thumbnails and do the full verification on his account as well. Gaming on a PC says, I finally figured out how to make a donation. Could you please look at my channel and give me some advice on how to get more views and subs? Thank you. I will put you in the queue as well. So right now, looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 channels in the queue, which is pretty cool. That will get us off to a good start for sure. And I'm going to start going into those here in just a few minutes also. So let's go ahead, and first I want to say that if you have not yet, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure that if you haven't yet, that you're sharing this out on Twitter, that you're sharing it out on Facebook, so we can get more YouTubers in here, so that we can help more people. Because once we get into this channel grading portion, even though we have, you know, the fun side of it, like, hey, you know, I give this you know, an A or a F, or, you know, whatever it happens to be, depending on the situation. Even though we have the fun side of it, there's also a lot of useful information that can come from it to really help people, you know, fine tune what's going on with their channel. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you share it and give it a thumbs up as well. Panda Gamer says, why did you start late? The reason I started late is because I'm broadcasting from America right now instead of Thailand, so I'm in a totally different time zone as well. I didn't want to wake up at 6 in the morning in order to 5 in the morning really to get ready in order to do it. I'll Be Drone says, can you start? Whoa, I just lost it there. Okay, he says, best program for intros and outros. Best program for intros and outros, in my opinion, is going to be, you know, After Effects or something like that. Personally, for that kind of stuff, I use Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere. So if somebody gets something through Tuber Tools, then it will be done either in Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere. In some very few cases, it will be done in After Effects, but in most cases, it's Adobe Premiere or After Effects. What is that? Let's see here. Any advice on adding fan funding to your channel? So if by fan funding you mean you like Patreon and stuff like that, if you can add value there, then absolutely. If you don't know how to add value there, then I would wait until you do. Just because if you're not adding value, then you're just taking, right? You want an exchange. You don't want to just take. You want an actual exchange. Okay, let's see here. I learned a lot about YouTube because of you, man. Thank you so much. Bry Games, my pleasure. Can you please grade my channel? We're not to that portion yet. Any advice on fan funding? We got that one. Cool. I lived in Texas. That is cool. Let's see here. Video. Whoop, just lost that one. Hey, Nick, I need your help. What recorder should I use with my Samsung Tab? If you're wanting just like a video recorder, then you can use Open Camera, I believe it's called. You know, if you're just trying to fine tune the settings. If you are looking for an actual screen recorder, then check out DU Screen Recorder. Let's see here. I make 3D or 2Ds, intros and outros, profile pictures, and banners. Go comment on my channel if you are interested. Can you please review my channel when the time comes? I would like to see what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, make sure that you're tweeting out for that. How do I get on the list for channel grading? What you want to do is you want to go to Twitter and at Nick Nimmin, so that when it comes to that point, basically I go through and I just randomly pick people off of there when it comes to that point. Of course, the super chats come first, just because, you know, people are donating for that. So, you know, I would be a jerk if I did not do those first. So so I get those out of the way first, and then I go in and I do the other ones. Romulino, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Josh Tech Gamer says, I did its new Elgato green screen in Amazon. I do tech gameplay unboxings and live streams, etc. Thanks. I sent a tweet. That is cool. Oh, you're at 2,550 subs. Very cool. Let's see here. Hey, Nick, I tweaked my header. If you want a peek, says Longwell Art. I will pop you open here as well. What if we don't have a Twitter? Every now and then, if you don't have a Twitter, every now and then I'll just jump into the chat and I'll randomly pull them there as well. But for the most part, I do it on Twitter, just because it keeps the chat kind of clean. Because if I don't do it, like if I just do it from the chat, then the chat gets all cluttered up with, hey, look at my channel. So so I do it on Twitter for the sake of keeping the chat clean. So that's why it'll take you just a few minutes to set up a Twitter account if you haven't yet. Epic's boss says, will you pick people off of this chat for channel grading? I do that on Twitter. So basically what you want to do when we get to that part about the channel grading is you want to make sure that you're doing @NickNimmin on Twitter and that you're actually sending me your channel link so that I don't have to go look for it or anything like that. So I can actually just grab it directly from that tweet and then go in and look at your channel. And this is also going to look a little bit different too when we get into that portion, just so you know, because I'm doing this on one screen here. I just got my laptop with me, so I'm doing it on one screen. So basically, we're going to get a lot of weird, like, you know, going from OBS into the display and all of that stuff, which is going to be interesting. Rasmus Wan says, Rode Video Mic, me or Boya BY-M1 for a phone? I can't afford a camera at the moment. Well, for reference, here is a Boya BY-M1. I brought this with me, and I thought I was going to have to use it today, but I didn't. I was able to get this to work, which is good. I also have the Rode Video Mic Me. Both of them are absolutely fantastic. Now, the advantage that you get with using something like this is consistent audio, and that's really important. I actually have a collaboration coming out with Marcus Campbell here later this week, actually, and in that video you'll notice the consistency in his audio, because basically he goes between different scenes and different cameras and all this other stuff, and when he does that, his microphone is always here. It doesn't matter, you know, what's going on, his microphone is always in the same place. So because of that, his audio is extremely consistent throughout the whole thing. And how he shot that, the beginning part of that, is a really cool video too, so make sure that you check that out. Okay, let's see here. Flea Market Coin Hunter says, Nick, thank you for all the advice. I'm at 217 subs a month. Congratulations. Doing a 300 subscriber giveaway. I do live stream coin auctions. Please grade my channel. I will for sure. You are also in the queue. And let's see here. The Okayest Taylor says, I'm a TV show channel. That's cool. But there are a lot of gaming channels here. What advice do you have to help gaming channels stand out from one another? Excellent, excellent question. With gaming channels, it is hard to stand out. But what you want to do is you want to try to do something different. What I mean by that, because that's the easy way out, right? So in order to do something different, hold on really quick. Please, I'm in LA. Would love to grab a coffee. I'm a filmmaker and would love to chat. Eric Peter Carlson. I will be in LA on the 9th. So send me a message on Twitter, and we can possibly work that out, depending on, you know, what time I'm going to get in and all that stuff. So send me a DM on Twitter. But yeah, so to stand out as a gaming channel, basically what you want to do is you want to keep in mind that there are a bajillion, and I've counted, gaming channels on YouTube. Because of that, doing small things like a friend of mine has a channel called The Schooled Zone. And on his gaming channel, basically, instead of him just playing games, he actually shares educational information while he's playing the game. So let's say that he has, what's it called? The one with the nuclear Fallout. So like Fallout, for example, when that game was released, basically he went through and he actually broke down the science of the different environments. He was talking about, you know, what would happen in a nuclear war. He was talking about, which I probably just caused my demonetization thing to get ticked by saying that. But he also basically says, you know, like in this environment, like these are the types of things that would actually happen, and, you know, things like that. So basically by taking it from just a, hey, I'm playing games type of channel, he plays the games, but while he's doing that, he also talks about the other things to add that extra value of knowledge in addition to the entertainment side of playing the actual game itself. In addition to that, how you edit can make you stand out, as well as, let's see here, I just opened you up there as well, joining communities and being active in the community. That it doesn't matter what kind of channel you have, being a participant in communities that are around your channel has a massive amount of value and can really help you stand out, because what you're doing is, in addition to what's going on YouTube, you're actually becoming a known person in the community, right? So instead of saying, hey, I'm a YouTuber and I have this following, it is, I'm a YouTuber and I have this following, but I'm also on Reddit and I'm also having conversations with people on Reddit and people know me there. And I have, active conversations going on Twitter and people know me there. I'm on Facebook and all these different groups and I'm helping people out and giving suggestions and, talking about new games and all of that stuff and sharing my information there as well. So people get to know you as part of the community instead of just a channel by itself. You're actually a member of the community, which is extremely valuable and helpful for actually pulling in some of that traffic. Chrissy Gamers, I got you. Got you open there. And I think I've had a couple come through actually that I lost. So I'm gonna take 1 second here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, it just popped up again. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Creator Fundamentals, see you there. Yeah, Creator Fundamentals, Dan. So Alex at Everything Tesla is also going to be at Vid Summit. So yeah, Vid Summit's going to be awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm really looking forward to meeting some people over there. So Andrew Salas says DSLR or camcorder. That's an excellent question as well. Personally, I prefer DSLRs. The reason for that is because of the creative options, right? You can really dial in a scene and really make things look really cool with all the depth of field, all the different lenses and things like that you can apply to a DSLR that the camcorders just don't allow. I have a Canon XF100, which is a fantastic camcorder. The optics on that thing are ridiculous. It looks great. However, I switched to the Canon 70D because I wanted that nice, nice depth of field. I wanted, the look that comes with the DSLR that the XF100 just wasn't giving me. Let's see here. Swivel says I can't send you my channel link. Yeah, you should be able to. Just when you just at me, then you should be able to. Yeah, Waimanano Canoe Club, I hope I'm saying that right, says that the DSLR is the way to go because you get more control. Yeah, that's a great way to put it for sure. Yeah, that extra control really goes a long way, and all the lens options and all of that stuff. 50-something original, I've got you opened up now. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to start getting into these because there's been a lot of super chats that have come in, and I want to make sure that I also have a chance for the free ones as those come in as well once we get through here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move into the channel grading portion of this, and then we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start pulling up these. Kill Creation says he's still learning his new Canon 80D. How are you liking that? I have the 70D. I absolutely love it. I've considered doing the 80D, but I think if I upgrade, I'm going to go with something 4K just so I can future-proof myself. Chloe's World says, I love your videos and you inspire me so much. That is awesome to hear. Thank you. Let's see here. I tweeted you. I'm still learning the OBS and video editing software. I don't know if I'm ready for a DSLR. Yeah, that's one thing too to consider. It's what are you ready for? Are you ready to spend that time learning? Do you have the time to learn a DSLR and dialing in all your settings and things like that? Because, there are, all of this stuff comes with a learning curve, and the DSLRs definitely add to that learning curve. Rob Gleason says, don't get Nikon. Okay. Tyler Dale says, iPhone X or Samsung 8? Samsung S8. Personally, I'm a Samsung user, but I know that the iPhones are fantastic. I can say this, that there are a lot more options available for the iPhones than there are for the Samsungs as far as, plugins and, all that stuff. But as far as the price point, nowadays they're getting kind of close. The new iPhone 8 is actually supposed to have one of the best cameras on the market. So because of that, I would say iPhone X, if you are, if you're making videos, it's important that you get that quality together. But comparing the two, I guess it would just come down to personal preference. Me personally, I prefer Android devices, so because of that, I personally roll with Android. But I do know that the iPhones are absolutely amazing also. Oh, the 90D is rumored to have a 4K. That's awesome. Let's see here. So another thing I want to mention too, as I'm going through this, as I'm going through these here, because we're getting, what's up, Justin Bennett in the house? As we're going through these, I do want to say that sometimes, people will say, hey, Nick, you're not noticing me in the chat. Hey, Nick, why aren't you replying to me or something like that? Just so the chat is, kind of moving along a bit. And because of that, I'll look at the chat and then I'll look at the camera for a bit. I'm pulling up channels, that kind of stuff. So if you do send a message and if I don't say anything to your message, just keep that in mind. It's not because I'm ignoring you or anything like that. It's just because, I'm doing this other stuff as well. So because of that, I just kind of, hit and miss with what I see in the messages here. Richard Messiah says Android rules. So real quick, I'm going to grab a glass of water here, and then we are going to get into the review portion of this. So real quick before we go into that, if you have any more YouTube questions, let's go ahead and get those out of the way real quick as well. So Coding Commander said, I learned lighting from you. That was the first YouTube tutorials I watched on making vids. That's awesome. That is awesome to hear. I actually have another lighting tutorial that I'm going to be doing that I'm actually from what I'm doing here at my mom's, because I can't roll with a light kit or anything like that. So what I'm doing is I went to the hardware store and I got 3 work lights. One of them I'm using right now. It's right here. But I got 3 work lights, and I'm actually going to do a video on how to take just a normal place and get some decent lighting. The whole entire thing with a power strip and everything cost me $40. So it's going to be basically how to do a decent looking lighting setup on $40. And of course, it's going to be a little more DSLR specific because you can dial in the settings more. But that's what the video is going to be about. Oh, it's vodka. It is absolutely vodka, Kill Creations. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's see here. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel? Me, initially, when I first started a YouTube channel, I was just wanting to share information that I had learned over doing a lot of freelance work over time. Camera wise, DSLR necessary if I want to shoot myself straight on white wall style. Okay, excellent question. Steven0159 says, camera wise, is a DSLR necessary if I just want to shoot myself straight on white wall style? It is not necessary. It's important that you work with what you have instead of waiting to get a DSLR. You can do plenty on a phone, especially if you're making videos outside, that takes it up even a higher level. But if you can make phone or videos on your phone now, or you're going to have to wait to make videos on a DSLR, go ahead and start making videos on your phone now. Beanie Draws says, hey, what's a good font management program for PC? I asked a few times. Hopefully you see this question this time. I'm not sure. I manage my fonts inside of Photoshop. So as far as a separate program for them, I have no idea. I've always just let my fonts kind of run wild on my computer and then just kind of manage them inside of Photoshop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the channel grading portion because I know it's what a lot of you are also wanting to see. So we are going to get into that right now. So I'm going to go into the back part of the queue. If this is your first time, because I know there's a lot of new people in here that haven't been a part of the stream yet. So if this is your first time seeing this portion, basically what we do is we pull up channels and we give some tips. We look at it and we say, okay, if I landed on this channel page, it's essentially a first impression. If I landed on this channel page as somebody that has never landed on this channel page, which is usually the case, then what is my first impression? What do I see? What's easy to understand? What's difficult to understand? What key elements that are kind of the basics of YouTube? What key elements is this person overlooking that that could cause, or that could be creating a disadvantage for them, to where if they made these small changes, it would actually help what it is that they're doing and actually create an advantage instead of a disadvantage. So that's how that works. And basically how it works is I pull them up, and then as they are pulled up, let's see here, let's make sure I got this right here. Okay, so as they are pulled up, like in this case, we have Nathan Sample. So in this case, how the grading portion works for anybody that's new in here right now is, what we're going to do is we're going to look at his channel and we're going to say, okay, from this channel, while I'm looking at this, what happens in my brain when I land on this channel, right? And I also apply YouTube's best practices to this as well, okay? So, Survival Gamer, what is going on? Nice to see you in here. Okay, so for this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my little pencil out up here because that is part of this whole thing so that it's clear what it is I'm talking about. Plus, how can you give a grade if you're not using a pencil, right? Okay, so first, Nathan Sample. So I'm guessing with this, you are, I have a friend named Nathan, by the way, so that is a fantastic name. And you know what? I don't think that I have done the transition here yet. Whoop, there we go. Yeah, I have a friend of mine named Nathan. So that's a fantastic name, by the way. He's a really, really cool guy. Hopefully he'll see this stream one day. So, okay, Nathan Sample. So you are branding yourself, I'm guessing, which you're using your own personal profile picture, which you get a plus for that. Let's see here. And also in the chat, as another side note, as I'm going over these, I cannot see the chat. I can't see what's going on in the chat. So, so I'm just going to go through them. And then as I go through them, I'm going to put in my thoughts, and then I'll hop into the chat and give me any feedback that you have. And as you're seeing this, let me know A through F what you think as well. So the first thing is when I land here, let's see here. Nathan Sample, Let's Play Streams Reviews. Excellent, excellent, excellent. What Nathan is doing right here is he's saying, this is the type of content that I make. So because he did that, it is extremely clear for me to understand that he's doing Let's Play streams and reviews, which is fantastic. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm guessing that this is associations, or maybe he has another channel or something like that, or that he is basically using this to kind of connect these things. I'm not really sure. So because of that, because that is extremely unclear, personally, I would get rid of that. But I'm not gonna give you a negative for that. That's just a recommendation. I would personally get rid of that because it's kind of confusing, and focus on this and the value that you're adding or the type of content that you're making, which is this over here, which is a good thing. So yeah, I would definitely get rid of that over there. Another thing that you want to keep in mind as well is in cases like this, right? You have 34 subscribers at this point in time. So it's important that you keep in mind that as a small channel, it's extremely important right now that you're keeping people on the platform. Because what happens is when people come to your channel and they see this, if they go to your Twitter so that they can shout you out, or so they can, send you a DM, or so they can follow you or whatever, what's going to happen is you're going to kill the session time. And the session time is basically how long somebody actually stays on YouTube. So you want the session time to not be killed on your channel. Every time somebody leaves YouTube from your channel, it's a negative from your channel. So you want to make sure that you minimize that, especially and most importantly when you're just starting out. Because if you have a big channel, right, you have a lot more traffic coming in, you're putting in a lot more positive signals. But as a small channel, when you're sending people off like this, it's something you want to try to avoid. So having this stuff on here, depending on your actual motives, if your motive is, hey, I just want to send people to Twitter, and that's more important to me than YouTube, then no problem at all. You're doing the right thing. But if you want to actually, try to pick up some momentum and all that stuff, every single viewer counts, right? So you want to make sure that you're not killing session time as much as possible. Now here in this situation, you're sending people over to, Patreon, and that's okay. Because with that one, there's an actual benefit there, right? Because they're actually helping support the channel so you can make more content. So there's an actual benefit there. But as far as Twitter's concerned, there's no real benefit there yet. Okay, so it's important that you get your fan base together, that you actually grow your influence first, and then let your influence bleed over to the other social media outlets. So let's see here. I'm going to scroll down here, see what we have. Let's plays. Okay, one thing that I want to recommend to you also is, even though that you are using the playlist here to categorize your content, you want to make sure that you're using the descriptions here in your playlist as well. It's extremely important. You also, at this point in time, that I can see at a glance anyway, you don't have anything on your videos. Oh, yeah, you do. You have it up here on that one. But you don't have anything that connects all of your content to each other. So one thing that I always recommend to people, and I'll explain why, is basically you want to put something on your thumbnails so that your current viewers can identify your content as yours. So when you do show up in a suggested feature on a homepage or something like that, they can say, Oh, this is one of Nathan's videos. I like Nathan's videos, so I'm gonna definitely go and I'm gonna watch this video. So you want to make your content easy to identify for the people that are already into your content. But you do have this laid out. You are using your titles here. If you're just using these on your channel page, but you're doing playlists and you're using your playlist with actual titles and things like that, what I'm getting ready to say isn't as important. But it is important that you are using your titles on your playlists as actual titles. Think of your playlist titles kind of like a video title, because the reason I want you to think of them that way is because your playlists can actually rank inside of YouTube search. They can also come up in the suggested features. So because of that, if somebody sees live streams in a suggested feature, it's not as intriguing as let's see here, as Skyrim live streams or something like that. And I also just realized that you're doing the playlists here, and that's why this is that way. But as far as the actual title for them, you can definitely change that. And you also, it seems you also have a decent amount of content here. So I would also recommend that you put more of your content onto your channel page as well, so that people can consume more of your content as they scroll down. Keep this, what you're doing right here with putting the playlist on here, keep this, because that's good, because you're feeding people into binge watching, which is good. But I would also put more of your content so they can see more at a glance as they scroll down your channel page. So on this channel, let me know in the chat what you give this. I can't even see the chat right now, but I'm going to go to it here in a second. But I'm going to give this one, because this part up here is extremely clear. This is definitely good. He's got his stuff laid out in a playlist. He's doing these so that he can generate more watch time, more binge sessions, and things like that, which is also a positive. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give Nathan like a C+ on this one. Now I want to give you a B-, but the reason that I'm not is also because, like your thumbnails are like there's no identifying marks on here and things like that to connect everything, and there's not content on your there's not a lot of content on your channel page compared to the actual amount of content that you have available. So my grade for that is a C+. I'm going to hop in the chat right now and see what you guys give it. Everything Tesla says, don't even have a header, do you, Nick? Probably won't bother. That's going to somebody else. So from the chat here, we've got C, 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 C+, C. We've got an out of 10. We're doing letters here. We got a B. We've got a B+, a C, C+. Yeah, so not bad. So all the way around, we've got everything Tesla. We got Alex in here with a C-. So all the way around, it's not bad, but there's definitely some improvements that definitely need to be made to this channel. Mom, what do you think? Like an A through an F. Everybody else is giving this between like a B and a C-. What do you give it?
A C.
Okay, Mom Nimmin gives this one a C. So that's the final call. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Mom Nimmin gives this one a C. Okay, so the next one we're going to go into here is All Smile. Okay. All Smile. Congratulations on the 1.5K. That is excellent. You're making fantastic progress here. Just so you know, as a side note, most YouTubers don't get this far. So congratulations on crossing that milestone. So here, I can see something. Maybe this is about turtles. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Those are cute pictures, by the way. But I'm not really sure what type of content it is that you make. Okay, as I scroll down your channel, it's clear that you are definitely making turtle videos. So that's cool. So what I would do is I would just move this smile up here, scoot this up just a tad, and then put underneath it something about, let's see how often you're uploading here. 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. Okay, so I would say weekly videos, like weekly turtle videos or weekly turtle vlogs, or something like that, to where it's a little bit more clear exactly what you're offering. But I think with your turtles up here, I think that as soon as somebody scrolls down, it is extremely clear what's going on here on this channel. So I recommend that, and I am going to take away a little bit from it, but not a lot, because as soon as you start to scroll, it's definitely clear that your videos are about turtles, without question. So you have your playlist down here in the bottom, which is good. Your layout itself, I'm not sure how much content you actually have. Let's see here. Let me go to your videos page. Let me grab a glass of water. My voice is getting scratchy. Okay, you don't have a ton of content. But what I was going to recommend is the same thing that I did for Nathan, is that you put more content on your channel page, because right now you're just using the default custom layout. But if you go to your channel page, you'll see like a little add section thing down here. I would add some sections in here and get more of your content on your channel page. Maybe start categorizing it into different things, like, you know, tortoise eating playlists. Let's see here, head massage playlists, or, you know, like however you're categorizing this stuff. I would start putting this into playlists as well. So on this one, because the channel header, because it took me a little bit to actually figure out what was going on the channel. So on this one, and because you're still using the default layout, I'm going to give this channel here, I'm going to give this one a D. And the reason for that, again, and keep in mind, this is constructive criticism. And so, you know, when I said I'm going to give this one a D, my mom went, like that, because she thinks it's a bad thing. But the reason that we do these grades, just for anybody that is just coming into this, or that, you know, that isn't familiar with how this works yet, the reason that we do this is for the sake of people being able to improve so they can get even better results. Because even though the tortoise here has been able to generate 1,500 subscribers, you know, little tiny tweaks can actually cause, in some cases, dramatic improvements to your viewer to subscriber ratio. So it's really important that you dial some of this stuff in. But yeah, on this one, I'm giving this one a D, so I'm going to go to the chat and see what you guys give it. B, Costume CO. That's nice, nice, nice. We got a C-, we got a B-, a C. Exotrons, what is going on? We got a C-, we got a B, C-. Yeah, everybody in here is nicer than me. Mom Nimmin, what do you give it?
C-.
C-. Yeah, so I was the jerk. I was the jerk in this channel grading. Yeah, so yeah, D+, Rasmus, Juan, that is definitely a rating. We got C-, B, C's. Okay, so that's good. So for me, that's what I see. For others, it's a little bit more clear of what's going on, but I'm a strong advocate for putting the type of content that you make somewhere in your channel art so that it's clear, so people don't have to actually figure it out. But on the flip side of that, I do want to go ahead and say, in defense of all of the people that are giving this B's and C's, if somebody's landing on your channel page, they just watched a turtle video, right? So because of that, you know, that connection is definitely going to be made there. I just like to make it as clear as possible, just in case somebody shares your video somewhere, or in case they share your channel page somewhere or something like that. You want everything as easy to understand as possible so people don't have to figure anything out. But because people, in most cases, are going to be coming here from a turtle video, it is going to be pretty clear what's actually going on. Okay, next up on the list, we have Spoons Gaming. Excuse me. Okay, so for Spoons Gaming, same thing that I said before, as far as the subscriber, you know, the small channel and sending people off site. Just keep that in mind if you were in here for that part of it, for the sake of session time. And again, because I don't know your motives, I'm not going to take away for that. Spoons Gaming, that's cool. So your branding is a side note, and I'm not going to take away for this either. I'll take away a little bit for it, but your actual branding is a side note. Like if you look at the fonts and stuff that you're using here for your channel avatar, and then you look at what you're doing here, and then you look at the text that you're using over here, like you don't have like any type of brand going on. And if you follow that all the way to your thumbnails and all of that, you know, you don't have any type of branding going on. So I would highly recommend that you dial that stuff in when you get a chance to. I would also, in your channel art, I would put the types of games that you actually play, so that is crystal clear for people that come to your channel. I'm guessing, I'm going to look right now. I'm going to go to your videos tab. Oh, I was wrong. Yeah, you have a ton of videos. Yeah, so I would get some of this stuff on your channel page as well, so I'm definitely going to take away from that. And you are creating kind of a look here, though. I see what you're doing with your thumbnails. You are creating kind of a look there, though. So what I would do is your channel art, because it seems like you're using this this rising sun type of pattern here in the background. So what I would do is I would take that and I would make that part of your channel art instead of this thing. And since you seem to be using this font a lot, I would also take your channel art, the actual fonts that you're using up here, and I would replicate that there as well, just to kind of tighten all that up a little bit and change your S and G there to something that matches that similar look and style. So for this one, I'm going to give this one, because you're not showing any of your content on your channel page, and everything is kind of, loose a little bit, even though this is kind of close. Yeah, but me personally, you know what? I'm going to give this one like I'm going to give this one a C-. I'm going to go into the chat and see what you guys give it. We've got C-, C-, C, D, C+. What Chrome extension do I use to write when I channel grade? This is called Page Marker is what this is called. Beanie, I don't think this is Comic Sans. It's definitely more like a cartoony font, but I don't think it's. No, this isn't. This is not Comic Sans. Luckily, I would have given it a D if I thought it was Comic Sans. Game Tech D, Flea Market Coin Hunters D, E. Dean Cole C, Foulfish C. Yes, this one's not bad. We got a C++. Coding Commander says I need Page Marker. Yeah, this is an awesome little tool. I love this thing. So Mom Nimmin, what do you give it?
You give it a C+.
Okay, Mom Nimmin gives this one a C+. Okay, next on the list. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is looking different. Okay. Yeah, I like what you did here. Okay, so next up on the list here is Jet Maria, and I know you've told me how to say that, and I keep screwing that up, and I apologize over and over and over again. And I'm sorry. I just, for whatever reason, that's not sticking to my brain, because my brain, when I see it, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just having trouble with that for some reason. Okay, so vlogs, nailed it. My life in video, nailed it. You've got your social media stuff on here. Keep in mind what I said before. As far as sending the stuff off, this is fine to keep on here if you're trying to grow everything at the same time. But if you're trying to really focus on YouTube, then it's important to try to not send people off as much as possible. One thing to keep in mind, but you know what, I'm not even going to say that, because in your case, you are using a profile picture. It's clear here that, there's actual people in the videos. But one thing that I recommend to people, just for everybody else in the chat, because a lot of people will use tunes for their profile pictures. So what that does when you use a tune for your profile picture is it can be a little bit confusing, because people might think that you have a cartoon channel or you have a kids channel or something like that. So when you actually use a picture of yourself, if you're putting yourself in video, that can definitely solidify that it's an actual person behind the channel, instead of people, thinking that it might be some other type of channel. But yeah, you nailed this. So definitely a plus here. You got the plus here as always. Excellent there. Okay, one thing to keep in mind on your channel is you have vlogs here, so I would also try to make that some type of title if you can, so that instead of this just being an organizational tool, you can actually have it help you in terms of discovery as well. Because, it all falls back on that thing about, creating advantage, right? So if you make your playlist titles actual titles, then that can help you get discovered if your playlist ends up, if you optimize these things so that they can come up in search as well. But again, if you're doing that in your playlist section, that's fine. If you're just using this for the sake of doing that on your channel page, that's also fine. And I like what you're doing with your thumbnails here. I think this looks actually really cool. I like the colors that you're using too, just as a side note. But one thing to keep in mind too, as far as the branding is concerned, because this looks pro, right? When I land on this and I see what's going on here in your channel art, to me, this feels like, okay, this is like a serious channel. This is somebody that's taking this seriously. This is like somebody that's doing it, right? But then when I start to scroll down, for me, for my eyes, I see, all the different colors going on and things like that. What I would do is I would try to get just a base color scheme and just roll with that base color scheme, right? So that in addition to people recognizing you in the thumbnails and all that stuff, they actually get used to the actual style that you use, and they get used to how you actually present the content as well. So you're creating those additional identifiers for people on your content. And also, I just want to say that it's awesome that that people that are in the chat here are also adding each other to their related channels and stuff too. That's awesome. let's see here. As I scroll down the page, Yeah, and same thing with this too. Like with you, how you have the old makeup videos. You know, like I was saying about making sure that you're adding titles here, instead of just using it as an organizational thing. You know, same thing applies down here as well. So I think if I remember right, when you gave that super chat, you were just wanting me to check out the actual header itself, not wanting me to go over the whole channel. But on your header itself, I'm going to give you an A+ on the actual channel header itself, because you know, for a vlog channel, I mean, you know, this sums up exactly what it is that you're doing. So for that, for the header itself, I'm going to give you an A+. It would be lower if I factored in some of these other things, but for the actual channel art itself, from this red line up, I'm definitely giving you an A+. You nailed it on your channel art. So in the chat, if you're grading only the channel art itself, what do you give it? We got a good job on the banner. I give it an A, says Vestify. Hammer Channel says B. Corbin Connection says B-. Backwoods Ray says B+. Costume CO says A+. Our Fire A. Glower Gamer gives it an A. We got an A1. That's like above and beyond right there. We got a B+, A-. Yeah, so all types of good stuff coming in on that one. Mom Nimmin, just on the header, which is basically all of this stuff up here above this red line. What do you give it?
A B+.
B+. Mom Nimmin gives you a B+. Okay, coding commanders. Okay, so first impression here when I land on your channel, it's clear that you are doing some type of coding. I'm not sure if you're doing tutorials. I'm not sure if this is like a game reference. I'm not sure what it is. So first impression when I land here is that you definitely are doing something coding. I mean, it's even in your name and all that stuff. If I came from one of your videos, I would probably understand more of what's going on. But just in case this actually gets shared somewhere, I highly recommend that you put somewhere exactly the type of content that you are making on your channel. So let's say, for example, if you're doing, okay, web development 101. Okay, so what you're doing then is you are actually teaching people how to code. So in your case, if you're teaching people how to code, I would say learn whatever language, right? Or learn how to code, or new coding videos every week, or, 2 new coding videos a week, or, something along those lines, so that it's explicitly clear when somebody lands on your channel page exactly what it is that you are doing for them, right? So that they understand, hey, this person is actually teaching me something, and it's something they're doing consistently. Like some people, and I want to clarify this as well, some people will say, well, if somebody comes from your, if somebody's coming to your channel page, they're, in most cases, they're coming from a video, right? That's true. But the reason that you want to put this stuff in your channel art is even though they may be coming from a video, and they might know that that one video that they watched happened to be about coding, you want to make it clear that every video that they're going to watch on your channel is about coding, right? Because it is possible that you made one video about coding, you made another video that's a vlog, you made another video about how to put a computer together, you made another video about how to, how to view a browser source. I don't know, but basically that's the reason that I put that real strong emphasis on. Let's see here, on putting the actual value that you give to the viewer in your channel art somewhere, so that it's clear, even if they come from one of your other videos, it's clear what is going on your channel right now, what is the majority of the videos that you make, and things like that. And another reason it's important is because in your case especially, if this gets shared, let's say somebody watches a web development 101 video on your channel, and they say, wow, I really love how this person actually teaches people. I love how they teach. And then they end up sharing your video or your channel page on Reddit, right? And then people from Reddit come to your channel page. You want them, as soon as the second they land on your channel page, you want them to understand this person is teaching coding, right? So you want to make it just as clear as humanly possible that's what's going on there. And another thing as well, on your actual channel page, you've only got a few videos, so I'm not gonna take away for this one too much. But on your channel page itself, I would definitely get some of those other videos on there as well. If you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is you have to go onto your channel page. You have to hit your button up here to edit. On your view, you're going to see something about edit channel or something like the edit layout. If you're on the old layout, then you're going to just see a little gear icon right here. But you'll want to go there, and then you'll see a little ad section down here, and then you can start actually categorizing your videos into playlists. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a hopefully you found that information useful, but I'm going to give you a negative on the header. I'm going to give you a negative on not having your content here, because another thing too is even though I went to the actual video page, I'm actually going to pull this back here a little bit. My back's been like leaning over. So even though I went to your video page and I know that you are that you have more videos on your channel, and I know that you are doing coding videos, because you don't have more videos on your channel page, like I can't see what you're doing as far as your branding and, you know, stuff like that. But from the glance that I got, it looks like you need to tighten up the branding on your thumbnails and stuff as well. And just overall, you know, and what I mean by that, you know what, for the sake of everybody else in the chat here, I'm actually going to show you, because this is a really important part of it, especially in your case, because you are doing training videos and things like that. And as somebody that's educating people, growing that personal brand or that, you know, growing an entire brand and making all of your stuff pro is definitely going to help in your situation as far as long-term opportunity is concerned on your type of channel. So here, what I'm talking about with the branding side of things, I'm talking about the visual branding side. In these channel grading sessions, I don't go into the actual videos themselves and talk about all the branding stuff that you can be doing in your videos and things like that. I just do the first impression stuff. So what I mean at a glance is basically if you look at the fonts and colors and everything that you're using here, this all should be applied to everything it is that you're doing. So, and it can go the other way. I mean, I'm not saying use this font on all your stuff, but I would basically pick a font set, right? And that's kind of what it comes down to. Pick a font set and pick a color scheme and all of that stuff and actually create a visual brand. And when you do that, it makes it easier for people to connect with your content, people that are into your content. It makes it easier for them to identify it. It makes you look more professional, which in your case is extremely important. And it just makes for a better overall presentation. So when people land on your channel, it creates that wow factor that I call visual authority. It creates that wow factor to where it's like, wow, this is like a legit pro, you know, like this person's taking this seriously, so I'm at least going to give them a chance and see how they educate and all of that stuff. So on your channel, with all that out of the way, I'm going to give you on this, because you're missing a lot of things here. So I'm definitely going to give you a D. I'm bordering on minus, but my mom's sitting here and she's kind of giving me that look. So I'm going to give this one a D. So let me know in the chat what you think on this one. Let's see here. We've got a C, we've got a D minus, we've got a C, a D. We've got let's see here. We got D's, C's, B's, D minuses, D's. Okay, so yeah, so that gives you a general you know, a general idea as far as, you know, that first impression, is concerned. Next up on the list. Okay, let me do a quick scroll here. Okay, here we have, let me open this up here a little bit. So here we have weekly vlogs, family style, natural hair, career, and music. Okay, first off, just to go ahead and say this, I have no idea what this says. Like at a glance, let's see here. Let me figure this out. Hey Jim, can you read that? What do you think that says? That part that I had circled. Eleanor? Is that what it is? Oh, it's welcome. It's welcome to Tiffany's. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Okay. Yeah, okay. So just as a side note, Tiffany, 3 people here didn't know. Like everybody was looking at the E. Like we didn't even see that W. So so everybody thought that it was a that it was like Eleanor or something. So just so you know, like making your fonts, and this is for everything, for everybody in the chat right now. Making fonts in your thumbnails, in your channel art, and the actual graphics, anytime you use text in your videos or anything like that, using clear, easy to understand text is going to get you a lot farther than using text that looks fancy, if that makes any sense. So keep that in mind when you're putting this stuff together, as far as making everything as easy to understand as possible. And another thing, and I always mention this in the live streams as well, another thing that you want to keep in mind is some people are looking at YouTube when they're tired. Some people are looking at YouTube and their eyesight maybe isn't as up to par as someone else's eyesight. Some people are, some people have been drinking. Some people are they're finishing up surgery, right? And they're on, pain medication or something like that. And because of that, they might not be seeing this stuff as clear as normal. And because of that, it's important that your text is extremely easy to read. But as far as what you're doing here with this is great, because you're saying the type of content that you are making. So you're getting a plus there. You're getting a big minus for that text. And as a side note too, here, well, I guess because it's vlogs, it kind of all falls under vlogs, so I'm not even going to say that part as far as the imagery is concerned. But because it does fall under vlogs, that gives you kind of like an open book to do kind of whatever you want with the imagery that you're using. Same thing applies with the branding that I've been talking about on the other channels, that getting the actual visual brand together. You also need to do that on your channel. And you also need to get more playlists going on here, as long as you have more content. Let me see here, 112. Yeah, it looks like you might have more content here without me going to your video page, but you definitely want to get as much of your content as you can organized in a logical way on your channel page. So I'm going to give you a minus here as well for not having more of your content on your channel page, and for that up there. But it is good that you are using this. As a side note, I want to go ahead and say as well, because this is small, and this gets even smaller on mobile phones and things like that. And because of that, personally, I would recommend, like if I was working with you, if you were a client of mine, or if I did a channel review, like an actual channel evaluation, I would recommend that you actually zoom in on this picture so that people can see more of the faces, because that's what's most important here. You want people to actually connect with your faces instead of all of the extra added stuff that's going on in that picture. But on this one, I'm actually going to give you a D- on this one, because of this, because of the channel page not being laid out right, and the loose branding and all of that. You know what? I'm actually going to take that off. I'm actually going to give you a D, and the reason for that is because you are making it clear here what is going on. So I'm going to change that to a D. Let me know in the chat what you think. Okay, let's see here. Hey, is somebody talking about Nerdy Explorer in the house? I'm going to scroll through here. We've got, welcome to Tiffany's. What is your channel URL? I can't even find it using search. Yeah, so even with that, so if you look in the chat here, there's a lot of feedback as far as like the channel art and stuff. Hey, Doug, just as a side note, Costume CO, she's okay. She has clearance to say, like, she's in here all the time. So she's clear to say pretty much anything. Let's see here as I scroll down. Let's see here. Thelma Thrift, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so similar thing. We got D's, we've got D's, we've got D. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, Car Galaxy. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that, my bad. Let's see here. And welcome to Tiffany says, I tried to have YouTube fix that, but no luck. Oh, okay, you guys were talking about the URL. We got C minuses. Can you rate me? Okay, so Mom Nimmin, what do you give this one?
C minus.
Okay, Mom Nimmin gives us a C minus. So that is that for that one. Jim, what do you give this one? What do you give it, Jim? We're going A through F.
Let's see.
Okay, and we got a C from Jim. Okay, let's see here. Next up is Webhead. Let out your inner geek. Very cool. Let out your inner geek. Okay, so for this, even though it's just a tad abstract, this is totally cool, right? Because I'm a geek. So if I landed on this, I would be like, okay, this is cool. We got some good emotion going on here, so people can definitely see you're obviously the star of this channel. So they say, hey, this is here. He looks fun. This, there's definitely something going on here. Everything is nice and clean, easy to read, easy to understand, with the exception of filling in the blank for this right here. Like these icons, like you probably know the intention here, and some other people will pick it up as well. But me personally, I don't know if you're trying to say that, hey, follow me here, or if you're just putting these social icons here to say these are the types of videos that I make. I cover topics about Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube. Like, I'm not sure what purpose this serves here. So me personally, I would take this out, and I'm saying that now. I haven't looked at the rest of your channel yet, or the rest of your channel page. So give me a second on that one. But as of right now, this serves no purpose at all from what I'm seeing right now. Another thing here too with you, I would also, same exact thing, even though this is cool. I like how you got the Superman thing in there. You got the Captain America sword. So you're actually really speaking to your target audience right there, which is great, because I see here you're doing like flash for flash stuff. So I would normally say to zoom in closer to your face here, but because you are using the Captain American shield, because you do have the Superman shirt on, I'm a geek. If I saw that, I would probably click on that, because I'm into those types of things. So you're nailing it there, in my opinion. Now, another thing to keep in mind as well on your channel, you are getting bigger now. You're at 818 subscribers, and because of that, the social media stuff, linking out and killing session time, isn't as big of a deal. But keep in mind, even with big channels, right, this stuff still does add up. So, the more you can dial that in, and the more you can focus everything on YouTube for the sake of growing the channel, and then start adding that stuff as you start getting some real momentum kicked in, that's definitely a bonus. But, in your case, this isn't the end of the world. You're fine. It's just a recommendation. Now, one thing that I want to tell you, and somebody mentioned this earlier in the chat as well, right now your Instagram and your Twitter icons are not showing up. The reason for that, if you look, let me get my little pin out here again. If you look right down here, okay, right in this spot here, what's going to happen is when I hover over your Instagram icon and you look in that spot, and I hover over your Twitter icon and you look in that spot, what you're going to see is you're going to see https://twitter.com, https://www.instagram.com. So what you want to do in order to get these icons to show up, and this is for everybody in the chat if you're not seeing your icons, what you want to do is you want to actually take the S out of the HTTPS and link to it directly, without the S on there, and then that will actually allow the icon to come through. So just a little side note. No, it's okay. It's okay. Because it's just for the display. So it's okay. The site is still secure because the site still has that. It'll all redirect. So it's okay. Let's see here. So what you're doing here, this is excellent with what you're putting on your thumbnails. That makes your stuff easy to identify. Plus, you're always putting yourself in the thumbnails, which is also a plus. You got your playlist there so people can binge watch. You've made a lot of videos too, so good job on that. Excellent here. Yeah, very good. Yeah, so you're definitely on the right path. A few things, to dial in, like this was made a month ago, so this is still fresh content, and like what you're doing here. Okay, so you're only doing this on your reaction stuff. So, okay, here's one thing that I would recommend in your case, and I'm not going to take away for this. This is just a recommendation, because it looks like you're still trying to connect certain types of content with a certain type of look. But what I would recommend is that you still put, because this grabs a lot of attention, this thing here. So this little bar that you have on the side. So I would still do something similar on these videos as well, so that the people that are your current fans can recognize it as yours when it pops up. Especially these. And the reason for that is because your face isn't in these, right, to where they can connect with your face. So you need to have something in here to where your current fans can connect with this when it comes up. Because here's the thing. The reason this is so important, and the reason that I always harp on that with everybody, is because when your content shows up on a homepage, or when your content shows up in a recommended sidebar, or at the end of a video as a recommendation, it's important that the people that are into your content recognize it as yours and they click on it. Because if a fan of yours clicks on your content, then that's sending a positive signal. If a fan of yours does not click on your content, then that's basically telling YouTube that the people that are even subscribed to your channel that are into your videos are not into that particular video, or they're not as into your content as they should be, or something like that. So that's why it's really important that you make all of these little minor changes so that you can keep sending all of these positive signals in every single chance that you get. But overall, you're definitely heading in the right direction. You just have a little bit of fine tuning to do as far as that, first impression is concerned. And another thing too, just as a real quick side note, again, like I was saying before with the text that you're using here versus the text that you're using here, I would also keep that in mind as well as far as dialing the actual brand in. But overall, I'm actually going to give you like a B- on this, because you're definitely heading in the right direction. You just need to fine tune it a little bit, but you're definitely heading in the right direction. So let me know in the chat what you think about this one. Let's see here. Tracking weather. I'm actually streaming from America right now, so that's what's going on. Yeah, Streak TV says fix the hand in the banner. What he's talking about right here is this, I'm guessing. Let's see here. We've got C, we've got a B, we've got a B+, a B, a B, a B, a C+, an A. Nice. His channel art is a bit cringy, says likes for free. Wise Dude says the channel banner doesn't matter much. It does, actually. Let's see here. Not too wise. Paradox Universe B. We've got Car Galaxy B-. Please use Streamlabs to donate. Why? Let's see here. America CCB. Yeah, so you're getting a lot of good feedback here on the channel page. So I hope that you found that helpful. Todd Bart, what is going on? Nice to see you in here. So yeah, so I hope that you found that helpful. Wise Dude, yes, it does matter. Thumbnails are absolutely where it's at, because that is your first point of contact, but your channel art does matter as far as helping you convert viewers into subscribers, because if you look even at your own stats, you currently get more subscribers coming from your channel page than all of your entire video library combined. So yes, it does matter. Okay, so next up on the list, we've got Alex from Everything Tesla. Now, just as a side note, this is all changing right now. So just a side note, this is actually going to be going through a rebrand soon. But I already know my grade on this, what my grade is going to be. But the funny thing is this is actually going to look a little crazy right now, because it is going through, this channel is getting a lot of testing done right now. So there's a ton of inconsistency going on here. But because I know that, I'm not going to obviously mark against that. But this is the one, Mom, that he wanted you to grade. So everybody, I'm putting this one on my mom. So this one's totally up to her. So looking at the channel art, Mom, what do you think? And the channel art is that part at the top of the screen. What do you think?
I would give it a D.
A D?
It's just not interesting.
Wow. Did you hear that, Alex? Wow. My mom gave you a D and said that it's not interesting. Wow. Jim, what do you give it? What do you give it?
The stuff at the top?
Yeah.
I'd say at least a B or an A. I mean,
Okay.
That's good. I mean, that Tesla, anything Tesla catches my eye.
Okay, yeah. So Jim, who's probably more in your target market, Jim says he sees that Tesla. Tesla really stands out. Anything Tesla is good in his eye, he gives it a B or an A. But yeah, Mom hammered you. Holy cow! Whoa, how'd this get open? Yeah, Mom hammered you.
It's just not interesting.
Yeah, she's yeah. To Mom, it's just she says it's just not interesting. Yeah, he said his feelings are hurt. Yeah, I can show you the new stuff that he's doing. I'll get your feedback on that too. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring my mom in on this. So
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's okay. That's what he wanted. He wanted unbiased feedback. Okay, so on this one we've got Josh Tech Gamer. So Josh Tech Gamer, let's see here. Tech reviews, unboxing, gameplays, and vlogs. That is good. As I scroll through your channel here, it looks like you are also using the default custom layout. I just want to give you a check mark here for doing Star Wars stuff because I am a Star Wars fan. Oh, my back, leaning over so much here. Okay, so that's my old coming through. Okay, so here's your channel art. I think this is okay because you are saying, you know, what's going on. However, I would also put the games that you cover in here as well somewhere, just so they can see that at a glance as well. Let's see. And I would get, it looks like you actually have a decent amount of content. So because of that, I would also get more of your content on your channel page as well. And the idea is when they land on your channel page, just so when they scroll down, they can, you know, they can see more of your content at a glance. Of course, you want to keep playlists on here. And the reason that you want to keep that on here is for the sake of, you know, generating the binge sessions. But it's definitely a good idea to get more of your content on the channel page so that as they scroll down, basically all they have to do is just roll their mouse. They don't have to go and click on things and waiting for pages to load and things like that. They just see it as a glance as they scroll down the channel page. So it gives the people that use YouTube that way the option. And then the people that would go to your video page, then they also use that option as well. So it basically just makes it easy for the individual user, for the individual user experience. It makes it easier for them. Whoa. So also, as a side note, here, like this all looks cool, but I would also do something that that connects this stuff to you, because, you know, you're at the point now you've got 2,500 plus subscribers, 2,542, and so people are liking your stuff, right? So you want people to be able to recognize your stuff, like I was talking about a little bit earlier. You know, you want people to be able to recognize your content when they see it suggested to them elsewhere on the platform, so that they can come in and watch your stuff, because people obviously like what it is that you're doing. So because of that, I would definitely, you know, get some type of branding going on. And again, it can be something really simple, just a little thing up here in the corner, you know, with a JTG on it, or, you know, a little box down here on the bottom with a JTG on it, or, you know, something like that, just something that they can look for. On these, you're fine because you're showing your picture. But I would still, even on these, even though you're showing your picture, to get them used to looking for it, whatever it is that you decide to use, if you take that advice, whatever it is that you decide to use, I would still put it on everything. And another thing that creates, another thing that happens when you do that, and you know what, I'm actually going to go to my channel page here in a second. You know what, I'll actually do it right now. Or not my channel page, but my actual home page on YouTube here. So let's see. I'm going to see if I have any examples here. This one kind of does it here with Ellen. So basically, like as you're scrolling down, what those patterns create when you put those branding marks on your thumbnails, or when you create an actual style around, or a look around your thumbnails, then what happens is when your channel is presented on a homepage like this, it grabs attention, right? Like this right here. If you look at lifestyles defined, right? As you're scrolling down the channel page, this pattern grabs attention, right? So if you start up here, right, hey, this is what YouTube wants me to see, and then you start scrolling down the page, you're like, oh, hey, what's going on? There's Ellen, there's watch later, and oh, whoa, hold on a second, what's going on here, right? Because you see that pattern, brains pick up. It's called pattern recognition. Your brain picks up on it, and it at the very least, it causes you to pause just for a second and at least give that grid a little bit of consideration. Maybe you won't click on it, maybe you won't watch a video, maybe you won't have any interest, but it grabs attention, and that's the reason that you want to do it. Okay, so on your channel, I'm going to give you, oh, you know what? I just realized JTG plays. JTG plays. Okay, I got it. So yeah, so that's good with what you're doing there. Yeah, I see that you're doing that now, and because of how this looks, I actually thought, and that was my mistake, and that actually, you know, that actually shows, but I actually thought that this was actually part of like the gameplay or something like that. So I do see that you have the JTG live stream, JTG plays, and all that stuff on there. I do see that now. So what I would do is I would just create it in a consistent way across all of the stuff that you're doing. So if you're going to keep doing this, that's fine. I would just make sure that I would put all of this type of information in the same exact spot everywhere for the sake of creating that pattern. And I would also try to stick within the same colors for the actual titling that you do on those as well. So me personally, I'm going to give this one like a, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to give this one a C-. And the reason that you're getting that high is because of what's going on here. But the actual branding side of it definitely is taking a hit. You're also not displaying your content here on the channel page. And again, this is just a first impression thing. I'm not saying your content's bad or anything like that. People obviously like it. This is just for that first impression of landing on the actual channel page itself. So let me know in the chat what you think about this one. Let's see here. Yeah, I do watch Peter McKinnon, and he is amazing, right? So, like with Peter McKinnon, one thing that you want to keep in mind with Peter McKinnon is he is a professional videographer and a professional photographer, like a high-level person in that field. Like, he has a deep understanding of telling a story through like an image, right? So, with Peter, what he can do, what he's able to do, is his thumbnails are so magnetic because he knows how to create that image so that it does grab attention. So he is absolutely fantastic. He's actually one of the speakers at Vid Summit, which is that convention that that a lot of us in this chat are actually going to starting on the 13th. Or I'm sorry, starting on the 10th. Okay, let's see here. So we got B's, we got B's, we got C's. We got more C's. We got a D, not feeling it from Beanie Draws. Put a little dinosaur on here. That'll get you at least a D+, right, Beanie? We got C for you. We've got grade me. So yeah, I hope that was hopeful for you. Hey, Freely, what's going on? Nice to see you in here. Yeah, Freely says thanks for the help with the channel art. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and open up Freely here real quick. So through Tuber Tools, we did we updated Freely's channel art, and I'll show you what's going on here. Basically, what we did here is we basically put all of her stuff, you know, kind of centered it up here in the middle, put her branding up here, download her ebooks at bananagirl.com, and put that there because that was a focus that was wanted for, you know, what she's trying to do here. And she wanted a spray paint thing over here on the side, basically saying what her live streams were. So we put that over there as well. So thank you, Freely, for stopping by, and thanks for the props, so to speak, on the channel art. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you are happy with that. Let's see here. We got Yuli saying, "Oh my God, the banana girl." Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, awesome stuff over there. Let's see here. Now grade me. Let's see your high. Yeah, looks like you got some fans in here. Can you help me create a banner for my channel? Absolutely. Go to tubertools.com. That's what we do there. Let's see here. The message is held for review. Please join us Twitter Fire List. Raise money for Animal Sanctuary. Nice to see you. Love your channel art. Grade me, please. Tweet, check Twitter. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So for this one, I give it a C-. So, so we got a lot of good feedback in the chat from that one, as well. So next up on the list, we've got home and business DIY alarm systems. So, just as a side note, if this is being displayed on a mobile device, let's say you pull this up on my Samsung S7, what I'm going to see is this is actually going to get cut off most likely. And I'm looking at this as on a different monitor, so my actual markings here might be a bit wrong. You know what? I'm actually going to do a visual reference on my phone real quick just to make sure that for the future evaluations here that I pull this up and I have this accurate before I actually say it in the stream. So yeah, so basically what I'm doing is I'm streaming this right now from my, let's see, alarm, from my laptop, and it's also a new laptop, so I'm not sure with the actual how things look here compared to what is coming up on a mobile or whatever. So I'm waiting for it to load. Okay, yeah, so that's correct still. Okay, so this is accurate. So basically, how this shows up on my phone is it's actually cutting you off here, and it's cutting you off after the T here. So on a mobile device, that is actually, this right here is the only stuff, the only things that people are seeing. So considering this is it seems to be at a glance anyway, some type of thing that you're doing for your business, I would definitely get that part worked out. Another thing as well is when you put the subscribe now calls to action, it's also important. And we found that it increases your view to subscribe ratio if you put an actual reason why. So in this case, you have home and business DIY alarm systems. You have exceptional sales and support since 1997, and then you have subscribe now. So basically what you're doing here is you're promoting your business, which is cool. You're saying that you have exceptional sales and support, which is also cool, but you're not saying anything about the actual type of content it is that you're making. I don't know until I start scrolling around. I don't know. Let's see. It looks like you're doing some how-to stuff and things like that. So it might be more beneficial to you to still have this stuff on here because you want people to know that, that it's your alarm system store. But I would also put something on here about, and you can do it. You can use this right here as that opportunity. Put something on here about the specific type of content that you're making. So in this case, it would be subscribe for, or subscribe to learn more about alarms, or subscribe to, something about alarms, whatever would fit for your audience that would make the most sense for them. But by doing that, we have found through testing with clients and stuff that that it increases your view to subscribe ratio as well. And congrats on the 3K also, by the way. So another thing as well is I would also get more of your content because it looks like you've got at least a decent amount of content on this channel. So I would definitely get more of that on your channel page as well for people to look at that. And yeah, here also with yours, if you do, if you put the HTTP in front of it, and also make sure that you don't do the HTTPS, then that Instagram icon should show up on yours as well. So yeah, on this one, I'm going to give you here, because, you don't have a lot of content here on your channel page. This right here is getting cut off. It's not optimized for mobile, which, more than half of the people on YouTube right now are on a mobile device. And because of that, it's really important that you optimize your all your imagery, that you optimize all of it for mobile devices as well. So people, scrolling around on their phones and things like that, so they can still see what's going on instead of it being cut off, here as an example. So, so on yours, I'm going to give you, like a C minus. Actually, I'm going to take it to a D plus, because another thing as well, like if you're a store, an alarm system store, even though you have your stuff over here, for the sake of that, that recognition, especially now with, with the new layout, I would also put this stuff, at least your logo up here somewhere, like your logo up here, and then home, DIY system, exceptional sales and support, subscribe to, to learn more about alarms, or whatever language you want to use for that. So yeah, so I'm going to give you a D. I'll give you a D plus on that one. So let me know in the chat what you guys think. We got D pluses, D plus, D plus. Okay. Yeah. So that gives you a little bit of insight, as well. So let's see here. So we will go on now to gaming on a PC. Okay, good there. One thing is a little side note, the subscribe option over here, if you put that in your actual channel links, that has been proven to convert well, as well. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here, gaming on PC. So it's clear that you're doing gaming on a PC. That's cool. As a side note, your imagery is a little, unless this is from a specific game, that globe back there is from a specific game. The imagery itself, I'm not going to take away from this because I don't understand the reference, but the imagery isn't as congruent as it could possibly be from me looking at this from an outside perspective. And the same thing goes with your profile picture as well. Like you're saying that you're doing gaming on a PC, but then you have the flag over here, which is kind of a disconnect from what's going on there. Just a little side note for congruency with what's going on there. Let's see here for your actual what's going on in your channel. Yeah, this is good here. You want to make sure that you're using the descriptions in your playlist as well, which you're doing that for some of them, just not all of them. So make sure that you go and do that. And the reason, again, that this is important is because it can help with discovery. Same thing goes for how you actually title your playlists as well. And I would also make sure that you are using the custom thumbnail feature inside of YouTube. So I'm not sure if you are uploading these from somewhere you don't know, how to do that option to where you can use the custom thumbnails, but it's important. And just like I was telling everybody else in the stream so far, for all of the other channels that I pulled up, the reason that you want to do this is for people being able to recognize your content and things like that, and being able to actually, focus people in on actually what's going on. So like in this one, it's just kind of like, I'm looking at this small on my laptop right now. So for me, I have to like look in and really try to figure out that that's like a person there, right? So if you're trying to focus anything on that, which it looks like you might be because they're in the center there, like zooming in on them so that they're the highlight of that thumbnail is definitely important. So something to keep in mind, on the YouTube Creator Studio, they rolled out recently to where you can actually do the zoom stuff and things like that in your thumbnails. So if you don't have a computer where you can do that, make sure that you install the Creator Studio app, or the YouTube Studio, I think is what it's changed to now, the name of it. But make sure that you install that so that you can make some of these adjustments there as well. So on yours, I'm also going to give you a D. So we're passing those out a lot right now, but that's what I'm going to give it. Let me know in the chat what you give this as well. Yeah, and it doesn't, it definitely doesn't pop. For sure. Let's see here. Superboy says everyone is insisting on Nick grade them. Absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. We've got a D. We've got a D. We've got somebody saying check Twitter, people. Yeah, we've got a few more of these, and then we're going to go into the actual Twitter side of it for sure. Calm down, guys. We've got a grade mine, grade mine. We've got D, D, D. Grade mine, grade me, please. C, a D, a B minus. We've got, let's see here, a D plus. Okay, so yeah, so that seems to be a relatively common grade for this. So definitely a lot of fine tuning. The fact that you're making content and that you're taking those steps forward is definitely a positive. So keep that in mind. You've already generated 18 subscribers, so the content that you're doing, people are feeling it. I'm not sure how many videos you actually have, but you're keep going. You have a lot to learn, but don't be discouraged by that. Definitely keep going and just learn how to improve as you go. Okay. So, yeah, I pulled that one up already. Longwell art. Now, this one is specifically about the channel art itself. I think that was the request, if I remember right. So with this, we're not looking at the other stuff. We did that last week. This is just on the channel art itself based on the recommendations for last week. Health and happiness through creativity. Reignite your creativity. Longwell art. And this was also made bigger, if I remember right, create for contentment. Yeah, that's good. Just as a side note, like the create, and this isn't bad, but the create for contentment, it's a little bit hard to read. That text is. I think it's okay, but because you have all of this, which is easy to read. But just as a side note, for me, that is a little hard to read, and the reason for it, I believe, I don't know this is a fact, but what I think is that it's hard to believe because it is like a fancy font. In addition to it being a fancy font, I have to actually tilt my head in order to read it as well. So it kind of hits me with that double whammy. But with what you're doing over here, though, I think this part is definitely okay. And the fact that you made this bigger, I think, is also okay. One thing that I would recommend that you experiment with, just for the sake of breaking it up just a tad, is with the reignite creativity. I would experiment. I mean, you're an artist, so you know how some of this stuff works. But I would experiment with maybe changing the color on this right here, just to kind of make it pop just a little bit and to separate it. So like right now, there's this big block of text, which is okay because it's explaining what's going on in the channel, but it would kind of help break things up a little bit and kind of help guide the eye around a little bit if you modified the color with this one. So, but yeah, I think that's definitely an improvement without question. Okay, for this one, flea market coin hunters. Okay, on this one, as a side note, you need to have a custom layout on your channel page. So let me check something really quick. Okay, so for this, you definitely need to go to your channel page, and you need to, you need a header. Like, you don't even have channel art in here, so you need to add some channel art in here, applying the information that I've given so far, and you definitely need to customize your channel page as well, to where you just go and you add sections, right? And you organize your content on your channel page in a logical way, so that when somebody lands on your channel page, they're scrolling through your channel page, they can get a quick and easy understanding of the type of content that you're putting out there. Okay, Eric Peter. Okay, Eric Peter Carlson, inspiring Disney vlogs. Nailed it. Awesome looking artwork too. Very cool. So you nailed it there. This is also cool. Branding, like, this stuff looks great, creating a style. So as a side note, just something to mention, like, his style is so cool that even when he puts it this way, right? Like, this isn't, going with the same exact thing, but it's pretty close. It's still easily identifiable. But one thing that I want you to consider, Eric, is if you, like what I was talking about before with the grid thing, right, on the channel page, like with these, it's kind of breaking that grid, right? There's still the similarities and all of that stuff, but this would be more powerful if this one also had that similar thing going on there, as far as that channel page grid is concerned, that I was talking about before. Like, this definitely stands out. But yeah, on yours, because your branding looks cool, I like what you're doing with these. You do have the thing about, making some of these to where they're not recognizable as your content at a glance, but they are recognizable within the actual playlists themselves. Which, if we meet up in LA, we can talk more about that. But yeah, some of these would be definitely a lot more powerful if it was matched up. But what you're doing here, though, is fine. I'm going to give you, on your channel, I'm actually going to give this one an A-. And the minus is just because of, those kind of being, broken up a little bit, and because the ones like this, they don't have that similar style that you're doing here, and the same thing here as well. So, like, you have everything else in place, and that's the only reason that I'm taking away because of these things, because you have all of the other stuff in place. But besides those, I think that you are definitely good there. So let me know in the chat, what do you think about this one? Beanie Draws says, oh, hold on, I lost it. I just got lost in the chat. It was something about the header. Not sure what it was. Longwhile Art says, okay, I gotcha. I will look into complimentary color change for Reignite Your Creativity. Thanks. Yeah, my pleasure, man. I hope you found that helpful. Let's see here. Content, would you mind doing a decent grade my channel? Okay, let's see here. Scrolling down. Razman Reality in the house. What is going on, my man? Nice to see you in here. Let's see here. Let me scroll down here just a little bit, see what we got. We've got A+, A. We've got a B-. We've got a A-. The Grandma Chronicles. What is going on? We Are Kings. Blue, Nick is my dude. I want to review. Eric's banner looks amazing. Yeah, all of this stuff looks amazing. Like these, I love these too. Like what he's doing with his thumbnails. Yeah, I think those look great. You said my audio is out? You can't hear my audio? All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick, because we've been going on these for a while. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm actually going to hop into the chat for a second, get a little re-energizing going on here. Right now we're like 2 hours and 9 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get through these last three here in a second, or these last two here in a second, and then we're going to go into the free side of this. Oh, excuse me. Then we're going to go into the free side of this on, where I'm going to go into Twitter, and I'm going to start pulling people from Twitter. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you at Nick Nimmin, and you send me your channel page on Twitter, because that's where I'm going to be pulling those from. All right, so I'm going to hop in the chat here real quick. What is going on, Poor Sane? Nice to see you in here in the chat. Let's see here. Mason Ellis, what is going on? Yeah, you like this live setup. Typically, it looks a little bit better, but I'm not broadcasting from my live or from my home base right now. So because of that, you know, here over the next like 3 weeks, well, the next 3 streams, this stream and 2 more, they're going to look a little bit different. So so that's definitely what's going on with the actual, you know, thing here as far as how everything actually looks. But I'm glad you're happy with it, you know, everything else, how it all comes up on the screen. So LZC says that they can hear the audio. You're awesome. Thank you very much for that. I can hear the audio. Please grab my channel. Please, Nick. I made it. Yay. Let's see here. Can you view my channel? Hi. Tweeted before the stream started. Okay. You know what? I thought I pulled you up already, okayest. Uh-oh, I just lost you here in the chat. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and get you in queue, okayest. Sorry for spamming. I'm just very tired. No problem, Harshy. No problem at all. Sergeant Tech Tips says, "Hey Nick, what is going on?" So what I'm seeing on my screen here, wow, this is crazy. So I'm getting like crazy delays going on. Like on this screen, I'm seeing me, but on the screen here on YouTube, it's like crazy. Like it's almost like in a loop. Crazy. I'm gonna refresh that real quick. Okay, let's see here. Grammy. So I'm gonna take a quick break. Does anybody have any good YouTube questions? Any questions about YouTube? Anything? Any questions that I can answer real quick, and then I'm gonna get back into the actual grading. Just like one question. What can I pull here? Let's see here. Okay, good question. 30-day reviews. Where's the best place to put a product link in the description? What you want to do in your channel descriptions, you want to make sure that at the top of your description that you have that optimized for search. So you want to make sure at the top of your description that you have that set up. You know, that you have like a small paragraph in there for search, and then after that, I recommend that you put a link for the auto subscribe for people that are going into your description, so that that's another place for them to subscribe. I also recommend that you put playlists, links to playlists down in your channel description, because people do look in descriptions, and when they do, you want recommended links. So instead of just putting the links themselves, you put, you know, hey, watch more videos about this particular game. Watch videos about this game. Watch videos about this particular topic. Here's my recommended playlist on this particular topic. You can look in my description right now and see exactly what I mean in terms of that. So as far as where to put the link, just make sure that you have the top part optimized, and make sure that you have the very bottom of your description optimized as well if you're trying to rank the video in Google. And keep that in mind too with your content. Some content you might want to rank in Google, some content you might want to rank in YouTube, some content, depending on your research, some content you might want to try to go for both as well. So just put your product links somewhere in the middle there, and make sure that you also include your FTC disclaimer. That's a legal requirement, and if you don't use that, you can use your you can actually lose your affiliate connection to whatever companies you promote. And in addition to that, you can also lose your YouTube channel if you don't as well. Let's see here. Let me grab another thing of water, and now we're going to get into it. Okay, so what are you going to say? Oh, no, it's okay. Thank you. Okay, so next up, we are going to do Chrissy Gamer. Chrissy Gamer, you still in the house? So let me go and pull you up. Slide. Whoop. Okay, so Chrissy Gamer. Okay, first, big minus here on your channel art. This gives me no insight whatsoever into the games you play, into like what's going on at all. Nothing about your channel, just a big subscribe. And there's no like reason to subscribe. There's no anything. It's just a subscribe, right? So this, and in addition to that, you're also getting cut off like somewhere around here on a mobile. So in addition to it not being clear, you're like on a mobile, people are just going to see like subscribe. So you definitely want to get some new channel art in there. If you don't know how to do that, you can head over to canva.com. They have templates and things that you can work off of there so that you can make sure to get that stuff together and get it looking good and, you know, make it clear what's going on in your channel. Also, get more of your content onto your channel page. You also need to get your branding together as well. So yeah, so overall, on your channel, I'm going to give you a D- here, just because here I'll do that on the white section here. Just because like it's totally unclear what's going on. Your name says that you're a gamer, so that part's cool. But as far as like the games you play or anything like that, and just having that big subscribe up there, like that's, you know, like there's nothing interesting going on. There's nothing, there's no like viewer value, or there's, you know, like there's like nothing going on with your channel art. So I would basically just remove that and start from scratch. Head over to canva.com or something like that to make a new one, and make it clear the types of games you play or something, in addition to just putting the subscribe on there. And same thing with all of your branding and getting more content on your channel page as well. So me personally, like I said, you know, I'm giving this one like a D- What do you give this one in the chat? Yeah, gaming is definitely oversaturated. And the reason that it's oversaturated is because it's a fairly easy thing to do, right? Because in a lot of cases you just play games. So, you know, so you can kind of make a channel while you're playing a game. So it definitely makes it easier content to create. Now, if you're like editing, and I'm not discrediting anybody in any way, like if you're like editing videos and you're like doing something creative with it, totally different scenario. But in a lot of cases, a lot of gaming channels, it's just playing the game. Yeah, so really bad grades on this one. So a lot of improvements definitely need to be made on this one. Okay, next up on the list is 50-something original. So I'm not sure here. Hey, thanks for having me in your featured channel here. It looks like I got some buddies over here in your featured channels as well, which is awesome. So thank you for that. So one thing that you want to keep in mind here, just as a side note, actually, let me see what's going on. Okay, wellness, health, kidney donor, funny mom, 50-something. Okay, so what's going on here? You're saying you do health topics, you do funny mom, so I guess you're doing like comedy stuff maybe. You're doing wellness, which also falls under health, you know, health and wellness, which is good. Kidney donor, which is also good. That's kind of like an identifier, I guess, maybe for your target market is my guess. But as far as your actual channel layout is concerned, you have some of your content on here. You're also focusing on content, which is awesome. You have Brian in here, by the way. But you're also focusing on content that isn't really related to what's going on with you and your channel. So I would focus all of your playlists here on there. Now, what you can do on this one is you can actually go into the settings. Any playlist that you have that is not your content, just go into your playlist settings and you can actually mark that as private. So then you're the only person that sees what's going on in that playlist. And then everything else that would show up here would actually be your content. In addition to that, the branding thing, you definitely need to work on that. Your thumbnails themselves, like there's just a lot of text going on here and, you know, things like that to where it just looks a little bit cluttered. Like here, it's like, you know, you have like a person over on the side of the screen to where, you know, unless you're talking about like a fax machine, hold on, organs for sale. Yeah. So like in your case, right, I would lose like half of this stuff. Like organs for sale rant, right? Like that's cool. I would try to come up instead of doing all of this stuff, I would try to come up with just a cool looking, or not cool looking, but just like an image that would try to express that, or I would just organize your text better and limit your text too. Like one thing that a lot of people do with thumbnails, and I'm going to show you a great example of this. One thing a lot of people do with thumbnails is they try to put tons of information on their thumbnails, and less is more. Like in Brian's video that you have here, right? He has 4 words, right? Plus a 0 behind that one. I know that because I've seen this video. So he basically has 4 words, and they're laid out in a way that's like clear and easy to understand, right? On this one. So basically he's taken the entire concept of what's going on in this video and compressed it down to 4 words. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus a 0, right? So when you have all of this stuff on here, like with yours, like this doesn't have that many words on it, but how you're actually organizing this, and I'm picking on your thumbnails specifically because they're so important, because that's the first point of contact that most people have with your content. That's why I'm picking on them. But here you have this block, right, which is obstructing what's going on in the background, and then you have all of this text on here as well. So this, something like this would be better than having all of this stuff on here. So on yours, I'm going to give this one a D also, just because there's a lot of improvements that need to be made on this one. So I'm also going to give this one a D as well. What do you give this one in the chat? Mark State says, thanks for all your great information. I hope I said that right, Mark. Thanks for all your great information. I've been lost in the YouTube woods for years, but now I found you. Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. I'm glad you're finding value in the content. We've got D. Yeah, lots of Ds today, Harshi. Well, here's the thing, Harshi, to keep in mind. Like, there's a lot of people in the chat right now. I think that's why we're getting a lot of Ds. There's a lot of people in the chat right now that normally can't make the live streams because I go on at a different time, right? So because of that, you know, like some of the information that we're sharing in this stream is stuff that isn't, you know, that they haven't been introduced to yet. So that's why I think that we're getting a lot of Ds. Okay, so yeah, so you know, so the lower grades are definitely a common on this one. So there's a lot of stuff to dial in on this one. And the same thing goes with your thumbnails. You know, I keep mentioning Canva.com a lot. You can use Canva.com. You can use PicMonkey. You can make it on your phone. You can make thumbnails using Pixel Labs. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to help you make more clickable thumbnails. So, you know, just keep that in mind also. Yeah, absolutely. And that too, you know, Beanie Draws makes a really good point. He says that, you know, a lot of people need to keep in mind, or people need to keep in mind, that most people have no idea about design. And that's absolutely true. And that is even more important about why less is more, right? As far as, you know, using less text, using less cluttering things, using less shapes and, you know, things like that, and just focusing on the bare basics, telling the story of the thumbnail using the most bare basics possible. Okay, next up on the list is the Okayest Taylor. The Okayest Taylor, Sons of Anarchy, content for the fandom, Redwood original comic reading, Saturday 6 Central Time. Okay, that's good. One thing that I would recommend, this is cool. One thing that I would recommend though is that maybe you like fade this, so it's not just a hard cut into the side there, that you just kind of fade this out a little bit, or maybe that you even like duplicate it. You know, so that basically you just cut this out and then you just kind of place it over there so that you have the full face, because this naturally kind of fades out into that black. So I would do that just for the sake of making it look better. But what you're doing here, you know, you have your name on here, you have the topic that you're covering or that you focus on, and that you have like your stream and all, or your upload time and all of that, which is good. Let's see here. Popular uploads. Yeah, keep in mind too on yours with your descriptions. Like you're doing that here, but you missed that top one. But overall, you're doing those, so you're good there. Yeah, you're dialing it in there, which is also good. Okay. One thing to keep in mind, which I understand that you're putting the numbers on here for the sake of, you know, showing the order of what's going on. For your thumbnail itself, that's not important. Because, you know, in a lot of cases, the thumbnail itself is, in almost all cases, the thumbnail itself is that first point of contact with a new viewer, because new viewers watch our content more than subscribed viewers. So because of that, I would lose the actual numbers from these and focus more on actually what's going on in the show or whatever the Sons of Anarchy is. Like I would focus more on what's going on there. That's funny. So right when I said that, right, Jim looks at me, and Jim says, he looks at me like I was from another planet and says, "That's
one of the greatest shows ever."
Yeah, he says that's one of the greatest shows ever. And yeah, I had heard of it, but I wasn't for sure with what it is. Okay, so for the show itself, then I would focus on maybe what's going on in the show or something like that to give a little more insight into, you know, what's to tell an additional story from what you're actually using in your title itself, because you have the episode numbers in your title. But best practice wise, you know, that's good. You know, you're using the elements to where people can identify your content, which is also good. You know, you're putting that everywhere, which is good with a few exceptions, which I would get it on there as well. Congratulations on the 6K also. But yeah, a little bit of fine tuning here, but overall, I think that you're definitely on the right path. I would do this quick, and it's just a visual thing. I'm not saying that this looks bad, because it doesn't. But this right here, that abrupt line does look bad, so I would try to fix that when you get the chance to. But overall on yours, I'm going to give you like a B. We'll keep you at a B on your channel. What do you think in the chat on this one? And feel free to pick on me in the chat also for not knowing about Sons of Anarchy. Remember, I live on the other side of the planet, so I'm so I'm out of the entertainment world a little bit. Oh, it's like an older episode. Okay, we got a B+, we got some C's, more C's, B-, B+, B+. Costume CO, how's that wine? We've got a B, we've got A-, we've got a C+, a B+, C, we've got a B-. Yeah, I made that reference because you said something about it earlier, by the way. We got a C+. Let's see here. Sir, how to get in video suggest in popular videos. Is there any trick? Yeah, that's the thing with trick. With YouTube, it's not about tricks that you can pull. It's about, you know, things that you can do to give yourself the advantage, because there's not a certain, hey, do this and this is the guaranteed result. It's do this and you're drastically increasing your chances. No wine tonight. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, so this, you know, same thing in the chat. You know, the community gives it a relatively high grade as well. LZC Zombify, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay. All right, so now let me turn this off. And now I'm going to go into Twitter here. And we are going to start pulling in some people from Twitter. So here's the thing. I've got 15 minutes until I have to stop this, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into Twitter and I'm going to go into Twitter and I'm no, you're okay, Jim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Twitter here and I'm going to let's see here. And I'm going to start pulling some of these out of the tweets here. Okay, so again, make sure that you are following the rules that are down in the description of this video. So okay, so I've got one open. Let's see here. I'm going to open up this one. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay, no custom channel layout on that one, so that one's not getting in. Let's see here. Okay, so on this one as well. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through Twitter and I'm basically popping open some of the tweets from what's going on there in Twitter. So I'm going to do two more here. Okay, so Razman is saying the audio is out for him. So I'm guessing maybe it's got to be something maybe with your YouTube or something like that. Because the audio is definitely coming through okay. Let's see here. I'm going to pop this one open and let's see here. Get this one. Oh, whoa, okay. Yeah, so that just came through there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pop up one more here. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so now I'm going to get into this. Let me hop into chat really quick. Let's see here. So I just dropped from 126 live viewers to 108 when you said you're ending in 15 minutes. Yeah, well, the funny thing is I might be pulling up some of their channels, which is funny. Let's see here. So let's see here. Checking out channels. Please look at mine. Yeah. Okay. So I just pulled some up here on Twitter. So this is the first batch, and then we're gonna go in and we're gonna pull some more. So let's see here. Zoop. So let's go into this one. So as you can see here, these are the next 4 on the list, and then we're gonna pull up more because we've got the time. So first off, congratulations to you on the 2,000 subscribers. Zoop. So congratulations to you on that. Just so you know, as a side note, it's definitely a good idea to put your channel trailer on here. It's also a good idea to put the actual type of content that you provide up here as well. It looks like you're doing tutorials and stuff like that. So I would get some type of channel trailer together. If you don't have an actual trailer itself, I would take the best performing video you have in terms of the video that converts viewers to subscribers the highest, and I would put that video as your channel trailer. But if you're doing tutorials, I mean, you can put together you're doing like Blender tutorials, so you have the skill set to put together a pretty cool trailer probably. So I would definitely do that ASAP. But in addition to that, big negative for not putting the type of content that you make up here. Let's see here. Also, let me see how much content you have real quick before I take away for this one. Okay, you don't have much content going on yet. And you're not uploading. You haven't uploaded in 2 months, so I'm going to go ahead and close this one down. I'm giving this one an F for the sake of not uploading and not having all that stuff together. So that one gets an F. Okay, so here on this one, let's see here. Let's make sure that you're uploading. Okay, a week ago. Okay, we're good. Okay, Tyler Dale, you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. That's cool. I like that statement. Congratulations on 2,000 subscribers for you as well. One thing that I would recommend to you in your case is that you, because I'm still not sure like what's going on, like what type of content you offer on your channel. I love the text that you're using on your thumbnails, by the way. But I would somewhere up here, like I would scoot the Dale up a little bit to kind of fill that in so that you get your spacing kind of tightened up there a little bit. And then I would put down here the type of content that you make. I don't know if you're doing like vlogs or rants or like I don't know what's going on. But little things like that can increase your... Okay, so it seems that I may have lost the stream for a second. Coming back. Is it back? Hello, testing. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, I'm back. I see it, okay. Okay, so yeah, so what I was saying is I like what you're doing here with these, right? Because you're making that connection there. The only thing is that I would do something also that connects all of this stuff, together, especially your most popular videos are coming from these things. So I would also make more of these things because that seems to be what your viewers are into over everything else so far. But yeah, on this one, I think it looks good and stuff. And you're using some of the best practices here as well. So on yours, I'm gonna give you a B minus. And the minus is because it's not clear what's going on, the actual type of content that you are making, and because you have some holes in your actual branding. And another thing too, like with what you're using in your thumbs, like this would look so much cooler if you applied some of that to this, and it would tighten up, your branding a bit as well. So I'm giving this one a B minus. Or a minus B, it looks like. So in the chat, what do we got here? We got a C, we got a B, we got a C, we got a B minus. Agreed. TerraVision Gaming says. I thought it should be a B, says Lucas Galdine. Northworthy Segas and Stories gives it a C. We got a B plus, a minus B, says Poor Sane. We got a C, a B. Okay, cool. So that's what we have for that one. So here, Let's close this up. The next one up on the list is the Monster Life. And with the Monster Life, doll shows and crafts, new videos 3 times a week. Excellent. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Also fantastic. Family friendly. Okay. Now that is taking understanding to a whole other level. So basically for the type of content that they make, they want it to be clear that, hey, this is a family friendly channel. That's fantastic. And I'm going to give you a big plus just for having that on there because that's smart. Monster High Doll Show and reviews of Monster's Life. Okay. Yeah, this is excellent. Because basically, you know, like if parents are coming here, right? Because their kids are watching a doll show, a doll puppet show, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on with this channel? What, you know, hey little Timmy, what are you watching here?" And then Timmy, you know, shows, "Hey mom, this is what I'm watching here." And then they see, "Oh, hey, this is family friendly. This is excellent. Okay, Timmy, you're clear to watch this channel. You're clear to we're going to go ahead and subscribe to this, Timmy, and we're going to watch more of these videos." See how it's good. So I'm giving you a big plus up here for all that stuff. That looks kind of like, that looks bad. So I'm going to give you a plus there. I would put one of your dolls. I would lose your logo here, and I would put one of your dolls in your profile. That's just a recommendation. Do what you like, of course, but that's just my recommendation. What you're doing here, this also looks very cool. And because of your dolls and all that stuff, how you're putting the outlines around them and stuff like that, the look, you're doing your branding here with a look. So if you're going to do that, I would make sure that you're doing it on all of your thumbnails, again, for the sake of people being able to recognize your stuff as your stuff. But best practice-wise, you know, you're nailing it there. And this is creative, too. You know, I've put up a lot of channels during these sessions, and I've never seen this particular concept, so this is really cool. So thumbs up to you for being creative. But yeah, best practice-wise, you're good there. You're good there. A tiny bit of fine-tuning, but overall, I think that you are. I think you're definitely on the right path. One thing, just another side note that I would recommend is, and this is just being picky, but it looks like you're using a different font here than what you're using up here, is what it looks like to me. So I would get those connected. In addition to that, it also looks like how you're doing like the white outline on the dolls. I would do that same exact thing up here as well, so that basically you're pulling all of those concepts in together so that it's all, you know, so it all looks the same. And also, just as another side note, like, this looks cool, right? Like these backgrounds that you're using here and these like small doll environments, right? So I think that having something like that in the background, basically look at your channel art, just like you're doing your thumbnails. You're making these like sets for the dolls. So me personally, I would recommend that you make a set for your for your channel art, and you do something like that with your channel art to make it, you know, to kind of pull it all together and tighten everything up a bit. So on this one, I'm gonna give you like an A-, because I think you're definitely on the right path here. And I haven't watched any of your videos, but from what it looks like here in your thumbnails, like these look like they might be pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give you an A-. What do you think in the chat? Okay, in the chat, we got a B+, we got a C, we got a B, we got a B, we got a C, we got an A, we got a B+, we got a totally. We got a Lil Tilmy A, we got an A. We got an wow, that's an awesome idea. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, all my pleasure. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad you like the idea. Razman's Reality gives it an A, so I guess Razman that the audio is okay now. Costume CO says this is such a fun concept. Absolutely. Let's see here. Please answer my question. My channel disadvantages. Please watch my channel. Let's see here. Nick, can you please grade my channel? Chat, can you leave me some feedback on my channel? So I'll get that open as well. Okay, let's see here. Can you grade my channel? So red box bed next my dude review. Grade T. No problem. It helps so much. Get ready for next week too. Okay, so that is that for this one. So your channel would seem like it was a hit in the chat. So yeah, so good job on that one. Okay, next up here, we're going to do James Does, and then I got these other two that came in, so I have to do those. So James Does, not much. That's funny. Let me grab another water real quick. Okay, so here, James Does, not much. Okay, so it looks like you're doing like gaming content, so I would definitely make that clear here, so I'm going to give you a minus there. Since you're using this flat color here, I would also use the flat thing there, and I would also just do a white J. Like basically what I would do here, and I'm not going to take this away, but just for the sake of, well, in my brain, it's a small takeaway. But like instead of this, I would basically just do this. I would do a circle for that J and put that there so that you have that consistency between what's going on. Hey, I love what you have going on here on your thumbnails. So this, just so you know, he got this from tubertools.com. That's my website. So that is very cool, by the way. But okay, so here's something that you want to keep in mind is like right now, all of the, like everything is loose, right? Like there's no real connection between anything, like between your channel art and your profile pic and like what you're doing in your thumbnails and all of that stuff. Like you really need to dial that stuff in. And I know that you're new right now. So I would go to my channel page or some of the pages in my sidebar on my channel page and look into like different branding videos and things like that as far as like trying to dial in your visual brand. If you go to my live stream playlist, I mean it's a lot of time of watching. But if you go to my live stream playlist, you'll see in those videos, I mean, I go over this stuff a lot. So I actually need to make a dedicated video about it that I can send people to and put it down in my description. I think that would be the most valuable way to do it. Just so it's an easy reference for people, so I can send them to it in the live streams. But yeah, you definitely have some dialing in that you need to do for sure, as far as getting everything consistent on your channel. So on your channel, because it, especially, you know, landing on it, not sure like what's going on and things like that, I would definitely, in this case, I would give your channel like a D-, just because it's not clear what's going on. There's no like, the only consistency that you have are these right here, which is good, but you break it, you know, in the rest of your content. So yeah, so for that, I give you a D-. What do you know? What do you say in the chat? Yeah, I like the banner. I think it looks cool, but it just needs to be more clear because there's no indication of what's going on there. Yeah, like yeah, Costume CO says basically, you know, it could be tied to the branding. Absolutely. Yes, we got C, we got a C-, we got a D, D-, D, D- for sure. We got an F, we got a C-. Okay. So yeah, so that's that one. Sky High Beats. This one is header only. So on this one, new beats and instrumentals uploaded weekly. That is a great addition that you did not have on the last time. Again, this is a little bit difficult to read on my current screen. It's better, I think, than it was before, if I remember right. Because I remember it was really hard to read before. But I would still make that glow in the back just a little bit brighter so that this stands out more. But you do have the most important part right here. Definitely does stand out. So you definitely made the right decision there without question. Another thing too is you know, like I was saying before, especially in your case, man, because you're doing beats, you're making like instrumentals and stuff. So people like me, I'll go to beat channels and I'll hit the play button on a playlist and I'll like take a shower, right? And like that's the music that I'm listening to while I'm doing other stuff or I'll work or, you know, whatever. And that's the, you know, like I'm listening to instrumentals and things like that while I'm doing other things. So because of that, I would put all of this stuff into playlist if you're not doing that already. And in addition to that, like if I go to I think they're called like what is it called? Like Trap House, I think they are. Like if I go and I'm like looking around for music to listen to, and I see a Trap House thumb, I click on it because I know they make good stuff, right? So because of that, it's really important, especially in your case, because you do instrumentals, that you do something that makes your stuff easy to stand out. So I see here that you're doing the Travis Scott type beat, right? That you're putting that on there, but it's still hard to read, kind of like this thing that's going on up here. Like what's going on is you're trying to make this look cool, and you're succeeding. It looks cool, but you're not making it easy to understand, right? And that's the thing that you really need to focus on, is mixing making it look cool with making it easy to understand. So, but yeah, having this on here, definitely a plus without question. Okay, here. Okay. First, this visually, this is kind of overload. Like there's no like when you're putting stuff like this together, you kind of want to direct the eye a bit on, like what it is that people are focusing on. There's so much going on in your channel art that I have no idea what it is that I'm supposed to be looking at. So what I would do is I would simplify this stuff quite a bit so that it's easier to consume. Now that you have all of this on the side, that, hey, this is the stuff I'm talking about, that part is good. But I think that you have your actual channel name and stuff on here. All of that is good, but I would organize it better. So I'm not going to take away from it as far as the grade is concerned, because you have the information there, but I highly recommend that you tweak that a little bit for the sake of making it easier to understand. Like this right here, I wouldn't even have that on there because they're already on YouTube. They already know, hey, I'm on YouTube, so I wouldn't even put that on there. But as far as this stuff is concerned, having that on there is good. But this is really hard to look at for me. Let me know in the chat what you think about that. But for me personally, this is really hard to look at. Here you are in here, which is also good. And keep in mind too, like you're doing that thing also. Like you're trying to fit tons of stuff into your channel art, where you could, or into your thumbnails. I'm sorry, into your thumbnails. So like you could go a lot further with these by limiting what's going on and focusing on a few keywords, right? Like here, look how small this is. On my laptop, I can hardly read this at all. Like when this is full size, this is probably a lot easier to read. But on my computer right now, like I can't even. Like I really have to zoom in on this to see what it is. So like in this case, like you have the Last Jedi Luke Skywalker action figure. This would probably be better if instead of having all of this stuff on here, you had like you over here, and then you had like a zoomed in picture of the action figure over on this side. Or if you're wanting to create the interest of, hey, I want to see what that action figure looks like, then in that case, I would focus on putting, Luke Skywalker action figure like you have here, but make that the focus of your thumb instead of trying to fit everything on your thumbnail. Also, remember to use the descriptions in your playlist and to make these titles instead of just for the sake of categorizing. Yeah, so overall, like the branding and stuff on here, extremely loose, which, as you can see, from watching these reviews, the loose part of the branding stuff, it's a common thing because it's just not an idea that a lot of people are familiar with, or that most people are familiar with on YouTube. So it's really important that you dial that stuff in, and that you keep in mind that less is definitely more, especially when it comes to thumbnails. Now, what I was talking about before with the action figure, this is a great example, right? Like that part of it is good because you're actually showing what's going on, right? So yeah, so on this one, I'm gonna give you like a C minus, because you're like the elements are there, but they're just kind of like all over the place, right? So I'm gonna give you a C minus. I'm gonna give you a C minus / D plus, because the elements are there, but they're just all over the place. What do you give it in the chat? Banja Does YouTube just hit 100 subscribers. Congratulations. High five and fist bump to you. Okay, we got D pluses, we got Fs, we got Ds, we got C pluses, we got Ds, we got Ds, we got Ds, we got C plus, we got D, C. Okay. Okay, Beaches, Bikes, Coffee, and Cats asks a fantastic question. How do you add branding to thumbnails that are already uploaded? What you do is you go into the video. Well, two ways you can do it. One, you can use the bulk feature inside of TubeBuddy, but a way to do it to where you actually fine tune it and make sure that everything is in the right place and all that stuff is if you go into each video and you click on the thumbnail itself, or you hover over the thumbnail option on the actual video info page, what you're going to get is you're going to get an option to actually download the thumbnail. So just download that thumbnail, put your branding on it, and re-upload the thumbnail. If you have Photoshop, you can actually create a batch process for that in Photoshop as well. Okay, Rafa and Rose. Challenges, music, vlogs, random, and more. Okay, that's good. Follow us on our social medias. Keep in mind, 108 subscribers. I would send people off platform as little as possible. Lose the S down here. Lose the S in the link. So it's HTTP instead of HTTPS, and then your avatar will show up. Your same thing here with the branding. You know, that's the common theme here with people being able to recognize your content. Other videos on Sunday, like this right here, something that if that did end up in search somehow, you know, that would not generate any clicks at all. So yeah, the positive that you have here is that you say the type of content that you make. The negative is everything else is really, really messy. Even the actual, like, well, this, okay, you know, guitar playing for beginners. That's good that you're going for you know, that you're actually going for keyword phrases in your title, but guitar playing for beginners, you got to make sure that you're keeping in mind the things that you're trying to rank for as well. That's a really tough one to rank for any size channel, especially for a small channel like yours. So I would do more research on the actual titles that you're doing as well. But overall on this one, I would give this one a D also. Just because everything. Actually, I'm not, because he's doing this stuff. It just needs to be better. So I'm actually going to give this one a C minus, also C minus / D plus. For that, what do you give in the chat? E. Dean Cole just hit 5,000 subscribers. Nice. I'm actually going to pull you up. Okay, so let's see here. So we got a D, we got a D, we got a C, we got a C, a C minus, a C, a D minus, a D plus, a D plus, a C, D, very messy, D plus, D. Okay. The community has spoken. Okay, let's see here. So E. Dean Cole, we've got money-making motivation. That part is excellent. This right here, just at a first glance, this part down here, even though you have the information there, that's definitely a positive, and I'm not taking away in any way, shape, or form. But this is a little bit hard to read, just so you know, with the styling that you have on there. This would be more powerful or easier to read. Yeah, I'm going to have to stop these here soon. The way I've been sitting for the past, like, 3 hours is, like, my body's, like, all tweaked out. Okay, so for these, what I would do is I would lose the stroke on there, because that's what's muddying that up a bit. And I would find another style for this that makes that a little bit easier to read. Also, instead of subscribe, you can use this as an opportunity. So instead of just putting a subscribe button on there, put an actual call to action there, which you understand that part because you're making this kind of video. So instead of just putting subscribe, do a subscribe for, right? Or subscribe for, subscribe to learn how to make money, or subscribe for money making tips, subscribe for new videos every Thursday, or something along those lines, to where you actually work your subscribe here into an actual call to action instead of just having it loose there. Okay. Yeah, what you're doing up here, this is good. I wouldn't even put the numbers on there. Just a personal thing. I'm not taking away for the actual grade itself. I'm not taking away for that, but I wouldn't even put the numbers up there. Remember to use the descriptions here as well for your playlists, and you also want to make sure that you're using actual titles, at least for most of your actual playlists. If you're doing other playlists and using titles for those, then it's not as important. But again, creating every advantage as many advantages as possible is what you want to go for. So that also includes doing even the stuff that's laid out on your channel page as actual titles as well. And the reason that you want to do that is for the sake of discoverability. Yeah, also same thing with you as far as the branding is concerned. You definitely need to dial that in without question. Like you started to do it up here with this, but it's more than just slapping something like that on there. Just the look and style and everything that you're doing here. Like with what you have going on here, like this creates kind of an expectation, right, of what your content should look like. Like you're sharing helpful information, which is good, but because of the actual subject matter, like there's an expectation that gets created with that, right? And if you can deliver on that expectation and make your stuff look like, okay, you're doing money making motivation, right? So basically you're teaching people how to make money, you're motivating them to make money with ideas and concepts, I'm guessing. So all of that making money, like this needs to look making money. You know what I mean? So when people see it, they have that impressive thing is happening when they look at your content, in addition to the valuable information that you're sharing that your audience is obviously into, right? To be able to generate 5,000 subscribers. In addition to that valuable information, if you can make the content itself look pro and valuable as well, and that includes your thumbnails and the actual content itself, then that's also a bonus. But with that said, it's also it's important to just keep making the content, right? So even if you don't have the best environment, but you're sharing the best information, then you still win, but you just improve everything, when you improve the looks of everything. And right now, how you have everything going, it's just a little bit loose, so I would dial that in. But overall, I mean, like you're again, this is another one where you're using in some cases best practices, but in other cases not so much. So on yours, I'm going to give you a C on yours. Let me know in the chat what you think. We got an A- from Kingdom Minded. Rafa and Rose says, I don't know how to make my channel unmessy. Help. Yeah, the thing is that comes, in a lot of cases that comes with like design, right? So in your cases, Rafa and Rose, you might want to just go to like Fiverr.com, right? Just go to Fiverr.com and look under like channel art or something like that and get one made for $5. If you want to do it yourself, go to like Canva.com and use a template that they have there and work your information into that as well. So that's definitely a good place to start. And again, I understand that that not everybody has that design sense or the know-how to do that kind of stuff, and that's why it's okay. Go to Fiverr.com and have them make you a channel art. Go to tubertools.com, which is my website. Go to tubertools.com and get a custom branding package, right? And we do everything. We dial in all of the visual elements of your branding for your channel. So so there's definitely outlets. You can look, just Google for design services or whatever, and you can get all that stuff put together for you. Okay, now I'm going to go into Twitter here. I'm going to turn this off while I go into that. And I'm now sitting in the floor because I've been bent over for so long. I'll actually bend this down here a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I'm actually sitting in the floor now because I've been bent over for so long. So now I'm a tad bit more comfortable. Let's see here. Hey, Mom Nimmin, come here. Okay, so Mom Nimmin is actually going to pick the next channel that gets graded here. So let me pull this up. There we go. Come on in, get yourself comfortable. Okay, so Mom Nimmin here is actually going to start picking the next channels out of Twitter. So you can get mad at her if she doesn't pick instead of getting mad at me.
Okay, so what do I do?
Okay, so as I scroll down through here, just say, hey, pick that one, right? So as I'm scrolling through, just point to one, and I'll open that one.
Wait, whoa. Back up a little bit.
Okay.
Where'd he go? There he is.
I just finished his.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, when I scrolled that up, I just
Okay.
finished his.
Yeah.
Okay. And she actually tapped on the screen like my computer's a tablet. Okay, so it looks like Olga Guffey. Mom picked you. So
Hi,
let's see
Olga.
here. And she says, hi, Olga. Zoop. Okay, so we are going to go to Olga and see what is going on with Olga here.
She's got such pretty eyes.
And my mom says that you have pretty eyes, Olga, if you're still in here. For the editing program, Awang the Tortoise, I use Sony Vegas personally. I dabble in Adobe Premiere. Okay, so for Olga here, same thing, channel art, no idea what's going on, no idea what type of content you make on the channel. Like, no question. I mean, I see you have makeup over here, but there's no like real explanation of what's going on because you have like your eyes, you have like you standing here with crossed arms, another blurred out picture of you over here. I would definitely make it super clear what type of stuff you're doing here. Down here you have your makeup channel. Now, one common misconception is some people will say, okay, well, I've got a channel header. I mean, I have a channel trailer, so because of that, it's clear what's going on my channel. But that's not always the case. And one thing that I always like to remind people of is some people are looking around on YouTube at work. Some people are looking around while they're waiting for a bus. Some people are looking around when they're at the mall or they're at a food court and they don't want to have their volume on to where they can actually listen to what you're saying in your video. So because of that, that's why it's important. And I always emphasize that you put up here the actual content that you're offering on your channel so that they can see it at a glance and understand without having to listen to what it is that you are saying in your channel trailer. So it's important to have a channel trailer, but it's also important to have that information up here. So a big negative up there. Here as well, you're also using the basic default layout. I'm not sure how much content that you have, but I would definitely get more content here on your channel page. And I would also do something with your thumbnails. Like as an example, you have this one here to where you talk about the acne clearing blue light pen, but most of the thumbnail, if you look at the actual real estate on this thumbnail, right? If you look at all of this space that's going on here, there's actually more empty space going on in this thumbnail than there is showing anything else, right? So because of that, and because she's talking about a acne clearing blue light pen, this thumbnail would be a lot more valuable if it was something like that. And that was the imagery where you would see more of the actual blue light pen itself, right? So because you need more content on your channel page, because your thumbs definitely need work and all of that, because your channel header has, there's no indication of what's actually going on in your channel, I'm actually going to give you, and I know, Mom, you don't want it to be a D, but I'm going to give this one a D. Let me know in the chat what you want or what you think there. Yeah, I think they're default thumbnails as well. But like this one's got some like text on here, so it's kind of giving the idea that maybe they're not, but I think that they are screen grabs out of there somewhere. Yeah, we got a C minus, a D plus, a C, an E, a D, an E. We got an it's okay. It says Olga. We got a D, we got an F, we got a D and F. Okay, yeah, that's cool, Olga. And again, just for the note here, this is not an attack on your content. This isn't an attack on your channel or anything like that. This is constructive for the sake of, improvements that you can make, right? So you can increase your chances of getting better results on your channel. Okay, next up on the list, and I'm going to switch it to this while we're going back to Twitter to pick another one, and then she is going to pick another one. Okay, so I'm going to scroll here. Did you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Jim is saying that he knew that it was makeup on the last one. He figured out right away that she was doing makeup videos on that one. So he figured it out really quick. So just keep that in mind as well. But that text in there, it just kind of solidifies what's going on. Which one?
I picked him.
This one? Okay, Harshi. Mom Nimmin picked you. Okay, let's see here. Yep. Okay, so he makes comedy videos.
He makes comedy.
Okay, so we got Harshi on here. So Harshi has been on here before. And Harshi makes it clear that he does vlogs, comedy, and fun. Subscribe, click the bell, right? To see what's going on there. Same thing here with you, Harshi. You know, like subscribe for new videos every week. You know, would also be good. You subscribe for new videos every week. And remember to click the bell or, you know, something like that. But this is fine. This is definitely fine with what you're doing because you're heading in, you're in the right direction there. So I think this is all fine. But just having that subscribe and bell thing on there, it is putting that reminder there. But putting an actual call to action there can definitely help things. Yeah, this is good. What you're doing there. Best practices going along there. See, now this is what I like. I like looking at channels and they've taken the information and they've applied it to where you know that attempt is being made, to where it's like, hey, you know, I'm putting in the effort here. I love seeing that. And cool looking thumbnails too. You know, you've got all that emotion going on. You know, you're doing like fun stuff on here. There's good. You're a little loose here with the text as far as, you know, what you're doing with your branding. But overall, I mean, you're definitely on the right path here. Yeah, same thing here with, you know, with what you're doing with your text, like comparing this to this, right? And comparing this to this as well. Unless you're using that for the sake of categorizing, which in that case it's okay, but I would still try to dial it in, just make it even tighter. But yeah, on yours, Harshi, I'm actually going to give you an A-, an H-. Wait, here we go. There we go. Okay, give you an A- on yours. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about this one. Yeah, so Jim said that he likes how you have the H over here in the corner, so that right away, you know, it just kind of makes it clear that, hey, this is your stuff. Yeah, Beanie Draws is saying, Harshi, you're doing good thumbs. You're doing a good job on your thumbs. Have you been watching thumbnail tutorials? Yeah, the banner. This is the banner up here. Yeah, one thing too with your banner, just as a side note, I'm not taking away for this, but just as a side note, like what you're doing with some of your text here, right? With some of this stuff, like applying that to what's going up here would be cool, as well as how you're doing the yellow here with the H in it. I know you had the pink one too, but applying some of that coloring up here as well, that would kind of liven this up a little bit too, just as a side note for you. Yeah, we got an A+++++. That's a lot of pluses. Let's see here. Awesome channel. So yeah, great feedback. Great feedback here. Game Tech, congratulations on the 1,500 subs, buddy. Let's see here. Love the banner. Okay, yeah. So we got some really good feedback on this one. That's good. Okay, now I'm gonna shut this down here, and then we're gonna go to Twitter again, and we're gonna see what Mom has to say about these other ones. So I'm gonna go up here to the top, and I'm gonna refresh this so we can get some new ones in here. Let me go to the top. Yeah, I'll start scrolling. So pick whenever you're ready. And there's a lot in here, so I can just scroll and you can pick like whenever you like. Going through a lot here. Going through a lot of them.
That.
Oh, that's funny, Game Tech. So Mom just picked you. Okay. Oh, do you want your glasses? Okay. You know what? I think, weren't you on here like a week or so ago? Maybe 2 weeks ago? Maybe not. Here, I'll pull you up here now. Zoop. Okay, so Game Tech, the official channel of Game Tech. So yeah, so in your case, you know, it's clear that you're doing gaming videos. I would say something about the actual type of games that you play. Again, just to make it easy. What you're doing here, the look of everything here isn't consistent with what's going on in your thumbnails down here. So I would definitely dial all of that stuff in as well. Same thing with some type of element, because you know you're getting an audience, right? People are liking your stuff. So making something, even if it's like this in the corner or something like that, so that you can, you know, so that the people that are into your content can recognize your content. I would highly recommend that on your channel. Best practices, that's good. Again, you know, remember you can use these as titles as well instead of just organizational tools. Yeah, so overall on yours, I'm going to give this one, what do you give this one, Mom?
I think it's pretty good. I think I'd give it a B.
Okay, Mom gives this one a B, right? So I'm going to put a little M right here. I'm going to give you a C minus, just because everything is so loose. Like, you have the potential, right, to really have like a really cool look going on here, and to have like an actual branded style. Because of that, and because of, you know, everything being kind of like loose or whatever, you know what, I'm gonna give you a C plus. And the reason for that is because you are going with the best practices and stuff. You know, you're making, you know, good titles and all of that stuff. So, but you're not doing the title stuff there. So that's why we're getting the C plus instead of going higher. So yeah, I give it a C plus. What do you give it this one in the chat? Mom, please choose me. Mom, please choose me. Mom, pick me next. Okay, so we got a B minus. We got an A plus. Ooh, Glower Gamer giving some love. There, Richard Messias. I hope I'm saying that right. Richard says, cool banner. Yeah, I love that banner. It looks great. Let's see here. Spider Pivot Animation says you had a great stream. I'm leaving. Keep up the amazing work, buddy. Bye. Later, Spider Pivot Animations. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see here. Changing it to C. We got an A minus. Yeah, so some good stuff. Some very good stuff in here. People saying they love you, Mom. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so all right, so we are going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we want to say thank you for hanging out in this live stream. We hope you found it valuable in some way. We hope you learned something from it. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you have not yet, if you learned anything during this stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. Again, I'm going to be around this same time zone for the next like 2 weeks. So so make sure, or around this time. So so you'll definitely get a chance to, oh, got an alarm going off here. So you'll definitely get a chance to come back in and possibly get you know, another evaluation or another channel grading around this time next weekend as well, and the same thing for the following weekend. So again, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys had a good time. For everybody that was hanging out in the chat and for, you know, interacting with each other and all that stuff and giving your feedback as well. Thanks for that. Thanks for being nice to my mom, and thank you, Mom, for being in the chat. and for
Well
giving
done.
the grades that you did. So really quick before we go ahead and wrap this thing up, anybody have any questions for my mom? Anybody want to put my mom on the spot real quick? No?
Yes.
No questions for mom?
Oh, come on.
She is nice. She's definitely nice.
She's wonderful.
She is. She's absolutely wonderful. Okay, we got some love you, Nick's mom. Nick and mom too. Moms are important. Bye, Mom Nimmin. They're asking if you're going to create a YouTube channel.
No.
No? All right. Again, thank you so much for hanging out. I've had a blast. This was a fun stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. You guys have an awesome rest of your weekend, and have an awesome upcoming week. You know, we're sliding into we got 2 months left, and then we are into an entirely different year. So you know, take advantage of these next 2 months and do something awesome with them. Again, thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time.